What's up? Welcome to another episode of Nerdgasm Channel Podcast. This one's actually our con special. We are broadcasting live, not really live, but still, from Animefest 2015 here in Dallas. And I just want to give you all a quick heads up. This is basically going to be unedited, so I can just get it thrown up as quickly as possible. So maybe add some music to it, and that's about it. And throw it up as soon as possible. Zach.
Now, we're also podcasting outside or inside of our hotel room, so you might hear some bangs, bumps, background noise from people talking and stuff like that. Yeah, possibly. So, what?
I guess we got to do our introduction too.
I was gonna say once again, this is over here. We got
Willie, aka Unofficial Ninja.
Zach, Romeo 313. And so I guess, honestly, what we're going to be talking about today are cons. The con we're at presently, maybe some pro tips, tell you a funny story about grab bags. Our experiences so far, and, to be totally honest with you, we had planned to have some more people on the podcast, but scheduling conflicts kind of came in the way, but they might show up. We might have a special guest.
Yeah. So we'll just throw them in here. But until then, you're stuck with us two. This is the first time just us two.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I think to myself,
the two of us.
Sometimes I think to myself, we can pull off a podcast
if we try. Just the two of us. Zach and I. We also have Becky. She might occasionally chime in, but she probably won't. But we've been trying to get her to.
8-bit Becky.
Yes, and she's over here, next to us. So
she's just watching.
Yes,
spectating.
So,
what do you want to talk about first? How about we talk about the con so far? Now we're only in day 2 of 4.
Yeah.
And it's pretty early. What time is it now? It's 5:11.
Central Standard Time.
We've really just been kind of trying to hit some panels, taking pictures of cosplayers. We really need to take more pictures of cosplayers, and talking with some talent that work for the various different anime houses, the voice actors and stuff like that. So that's been fun.
Pictures of them.
I really like this con for one reason, and this is the chill con. And what I mean by that is it hasn't outgrown its current location, and it's a little bit more manageable. So if you have any social anxiety or don't really like crowds to begin with, some of the other cons that we attend, they might freak you out a little bit. A little overwhelming. This one's a little bit more laid back. There's still a lot of people here, don't get me wrong, but and I'm sure it'll grow just like anything. But right now, it's pretty relaxed, and that's really nice when you're trying to get back up to your hotel room to go, drop something off or whatnot. So
you can also pick we got a lower floor too, so if someone pulls a fire alarm, like they occasionally do,
you don't have to walk up 15 flights of stairs.
Yes. Some of the voice actors that they have, like Monica. One of the voice actresses. They actually did a panel that we went to, and it's like women in the voice acting industry, and like Monica Riel Boma plays Boma, one of my favorite voice actresses. Got to get a picture.
Just in case they don't know what's Boma.
If you don't know, then Zach doesn't know, so I won't finish that sentence. I'm like, if you don't know, just stab yourself in the throat. And Zach's like, okay. Bulma from Dragon Ball and the Dragon Ball series. That's probably going to be one of the most well-known ones, but she does a ton of different voice work. Also, Ian Sinclair. I'm drawing a blank on a lot of the stuff that they actually do. Becky, let me see if we have a booklet. Can you throw me a booklet next to your cup?
Yes. I'm just gonna. Zach's gonna.
All right. Thank you, Zach.
Yes, sir.
Then there's been also a ton of people from the actual just Japanese anime industry.
A lot of animators that worked with Studio Ghibli and other things like that, kind of iconic films.
Yes.
The films of Japan. But
Ian Sinclair does the voice of Raising Cane's chicken. here in this area.
That's you're to start off with that.
Yeah,
that's his. That's the pinnacle of his work.
That's where he really got started. He was like eating some chicken. He's like, wow, this is some good chicken. And they were like, you know what? Come do our commercials for us.
And they need Lando. What was that movie?
Coke 45.
No, it was Little Nicky.
Was
man,
it
oh man, do I love? I can't remember the chicken.
Was that not in Brotherhood or Brotherman? Not Brotherman.
Wasn't that Little Nicky?
I thought it was like the one with freaking like Brotherman. Is that what it's called?
Whoa, yeah, the Undercover Brother.
Yeah,
that's
there you go.
That's what it was. I love that movie.
I like it too. I felt weird after watching that because it was talking about only like white people like mayo or mayonnaise or something. And I was like, I thought I liked mayonnaise.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. When I saw that movie, I didn't even realize that was like a
thing.
A thing that like supposedly, you know.
Like me neither. I was like, I've never heard that before.
It's like food.
Yeah.
Tastes good.
Yeah. Oh, Ian Sinclair. So yeah, we got off with the chicken thing, which makes me kind of hungry in a way. He also did the voice of Toriko and Toriko. You know, they know what I'm saying. And also Brooke in One Piece. And Zach doesn't probably know really any of these series because he likes anime overall, but he doesn't watch as much as like I do. Becky though, she's nerdy enough in the anime to know what most of this stuff is, or at least have seen things that they've been in. Yeah, and like it's weird because I'll be talking about something and I'm so used to talking to Zach and him not knowing what I'm talking about. When Becky actually like comments back, like yeah, and then I'm like, oh wait, you do know this stuff. Okay, that's different.
Well, and this is probably on me, but as a visual medium, as film is, actors like that, like the. You know, I can pick them out like nobody's business. It's kind of my field. You know, went to school for film. You know, still want to write and direct something eventually. But when it comes to voice acting, you don't really see their face. So it's kind of hard. I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you really anybody in the industry, except for, you know, obviously Studio Ghibli films. They get super A-list talent, you know, generally speaking, which they don't technically need to. These voice actors, it's tough job, and they're really good.
Yeah, and they're competing against each other a lot of times too.
Sure, it's cutthroat. And see each other at cons. I mean, that's got to be awkward.
Like that was we were talking about that.
You beat me in my last job.
You son of a bitch.
And they're like, hey,
so good to see you. You killed it in that. Oh my gosh.
How have you been?
I know. Like, I mean, it's so nice that you were able to get that, you know, with that voice. Actually able to do that. Like I wouldn't have gone that way, but it worked for you.
Especially when I heard the story that you didn't prepare for it at all, and you just woke up and you were a little hungover and you went in and nailed it, and I was working on that for 4 months.
And it's like the backhanded comments that a lot of people do and stuff. You're like, I wish I could have that raspy voice like that, but some of us just have to have this feminine, nice voice and stuff, but you know,
the voice
of
an angel, but you know, I mean, it's like losing me jobs, obviously.
And like, some of the other the Japanese industry folks, which Animefest, to me, like the main difference between Animefest and A-Kon. Of course, A-Kon's a little bigger, but with A-Kon, it seems like it's just more for all fans, like all general fans. There's a ton of panels. There's a ton of different genres of stuff. There's a ton of things to do and everything. It's just like if you're a fan, there'll be something that you'll like and you can find. With Animefest, it seems like it's more driven down to certain types of fandom or whatever, since they like actually bring in the Japanese creators and animators and things like that you don't really get at other cons that often. And then also there's less panels available. Like, yeah, it's just more, there's less stuff to do compared to A-Kon, but it's more specifically targeted towards...
Not to mention the fact that it's so spread out to the point where, like, A-Kon, you would have competing things that you really wanted to go to. Mm-hmm. Like, let's just say that broad panels that most people would want to go to, they would schedule 2 of them at the same time, you know, to really compete with each other. And that's probably due also to keep, because the rooms are only so big.
Yeah.
They already have to cut them off anyways, So a lot of people don't get to see what you wanted to see necessarily. But, there's nothing technically wrong with that. And if you don't really like anime, I still urge you to come to a con with some friends that are, because maybe their fandom and maybe you walking around and, watching some anime and stuff like that might get you into it. Everybody starts somewhere.
And yeah, this one is more laid back, like you were saying. You don't have to wait in lines for most anything you're gonna go see. You don't have to get an hour ahead to go in there. The only time there's ever really a line is getting to the dealer room. That's about the only thing. Even getting your actual badges, there's not really a huge line for that. I know when I went up to pick up one, I waited for less than a minute to get it, and yeah, that's one of the benefits. I remember the first year I went to A-Kon, because I've only been twice, so last year, 2014's A-Kon, I didn't know that, because I hadn't known Zach and Becky or any of them, and so I didn't realize they
That's
had
the first
already...
time we met.
Yeah. I didn't know that they...
That was actually the genesis of Nerdgasm, was A-Kon.
Yeah. And I had to wait 4 hours, I believe, to get my badge, because I got here one of the nights before and waited in line for 4 hours. And so here, I was dreading it whenever I first went to the Animefest, and I get here and I just walk straight up and get my badge, and I'm like, wait, there's not a 4-hour wait? I was so confused. This almost makes you think that you did something wrong. You're like, all right, so I take this badge. This is my badge to be able to get into the line for the badges.
Yeah. Well, and also, here's a pro tip. I said I was going to sprinkle some pro tips in. If you have to wait in any lines, and you will, if you have a handheld, your phone's a great, obviously distraction anyways, but obviously if you wait in a lot of lines, your battery are drained pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Bring your 3DS, bring your Vita, bring something to play, bring your old Game Boy, just something to play in line, because 4 hours in line sucks, especially when you need to use the restroom. You better hope the people are really cool and let you back in, because I know some people that's happened to where they're like, they couldn't get back in line.
Wow.
Be cutting some people.
Also, let's see. On that same front, though, also be aware that you might want to plan ahead for outages in your coverage, because some hotels, for some reason, in certain specific spots, there's no service pretty much on any carrier. So you got to be aware of that. Sometimes it'll even cut out your text messaging and stuff like that. So your friends are like, "Where are you?" You don't get it until 3 hours later.
They've already found you.
Yeah, or they're like, just go to dinner without you and stuff, and you're like, oh man, that
And
sucks.
nobody wants to miss dinner.
Trying to see what else.
Will we go some more pro tips, or?
Well, yeah, we're gonna go in that too. But I was gonna say, have you seen any crazy cosplay yet? Because I know you haven't recognized all of them. All the people.
As far as crazy, no. Elaborate, yeah. This is a con for anime fans, so most cons, regardless of anime, whatever, you see a weird, not weird, but a nice variety of things, video games, stuff. Lately it's been mostly just anime, that I've seen, which makes sense. Some of them, they put a lot of work into it. I gotta put it, give a hand to all the people that actually are cosplayers. One, it takes a lot of dedication. Two, you're putting yourself on Front Street, because it's literally just a, hey, look at me kind of situation where, you're going to get your picture taken. There's going to be a lot of guys probably on some level oogling you if you're a female. So kind of be prepared for that. Just,
Oh, also with males too, especially when you're doing Black Butler characters, free characters. I'm trying to think of another one. Orin High Hosts Club, those female will tackle you if you're doing it. I've seen it and I'm like, oh my god, they just violated him. I've seen he cries and goes into a corner, and I just have to go and
takes cold showers.
It's okay, man, it happens. That's why you don't wear that.
Well,
he's like, I didn't do this to myself. I'm like, yeah.
And I don't know exactly when to sprinkle this pro tip in, but please, take a shower daily and use deodorant. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect situation at the con when it comes to hygiene, but, there's only so much BO somebody can take.
Yeah, let's go into the pro tips in that one. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Why? How? How can it happen?
Well, I assume you're staying at this hotel, generally speaking. I know people stay off-site, and that's fine. But if you're staying somewhere with a shower that provides you with soap, shampoo, and I think that most hotels will give you deodorant if you're lacking it. I could be wrong on that. I mean, I know you get toothpaste and a toothbrush.
But, I'm just trying to figure out, is it people not showering, not using deodorant, both, or they're doing it, but then some people are just so...
Some people do have an odor about them that has nothing that they can do about it. And I understand that, and we're not talking about you, but if it's literally lack of hygiene, that's kind of on you.
So that happens a lot, and I don't understand.
Because you're going to be in some tight places with people,
yes.
Especially elevators, and I mean, it's assaulting my nasal passages. It's pretty bad.
So, pro tip 1 is hygiene. Respect it and respect others. Even if you don't care, just think of the other people that you're hurting.
And, if you're there to try to make friends, I don't know, that might be a deal breaker.
I don't know, the Funky Bunch, maybe. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Smell it.
Smell it.
Staycation. I don't know. Sorry, that was dumb. But anyways, so yeah, I'm sure we'll think of some more pro tips.
I have one. 2, wear panties or underwear under your stuff. If you have a skirt on,
probably even better depending on the length. If you can wear some shorts.
Something. We're just put something on down there. Even though we're guys and stuff, we're just giving you a tip because if you see it, you're gonna be like, vajayjay. But still, you should wear it. Sometimes I don't know if you realize this or you don't care, but yeah, occasionally you'll get home and people will be flipping through the pictures that they taken and they'll notice, oh my god, that girl doesn't have any panties on. And so we're trying to figure out, do you not realize it, or you just don't care, or you just don't think about it? It's not what's hot on the streets. Cover your stuff up. This is,
Well, not to mention, there's lots of escalators too, and at the proper angle, you will see.
Yes.
You will see what you were not meant to see necessarily.
And we understand that some costumes you don't want to have the underwear because it shows or something like that. But still, you got to be considerate.
Don't they make flesh colored tights?
Yeah. So that's what I mean, something, because there are kids a lot of times at these cons and stuff. So be careful and considerate of even that as well, because and boobs.
Lots of boobs.
Yes.
Anything else?
Cover the boobs. Well.
Whoa.
Well, I know. As I said the sentence, I was like, you know what? Scratch that pro tip. Pro tip: don't cover the boobage. Cover the vajayjay and the dinglebabies down there, the BB, the mama, and the D nuts. But we'll let the other stuff free, I guess, or just let it happen. Just let it happen. That's how it's over. You know what? You take it.
I don't have anything to say to that. Let's just say, some people may not want to see it.
Yeah.
Some people might. Probably should kind of use your best judgment on that one.
Let's see. What else have we learned? Becky, you have any pro tips?
Over the years of, taking pictures is great and all, but when you're in a crowded space, please do it in an area where big enough to allow traffic to still get by you. Pro tip, I don't know, 5, 6, whatever.
3.
Well, I'm sure we've said more than that. Bring a cooler if you're going to be someplace for an extended amount of time. That way you can put water, drinks, beverages, libations, whatever you want in that cooler, and keep it in your room.
Pro tip, slash B or A to his pro tip. If you don't break a cooler, a trash pail with a trash bag in it, and some ice from the ice machine can make a quick cooler for you to hold at least some of it. That's what we ended up doing. So,
not to mention, also, if you are on, if you're a conner on a budget, bring snacks. You know,
yes.
If you can, finagle some sort of a refrigerator, and if your room has a microwave, help bring your own microwave. You can get away with getting a lot of stuff and just nuking it in your room and not paying the exorbitant prices for possibly subpar food. So, we're not kind of like that because we're a little more adventurous and no problem really leaving to go get something good or, trying some cool things that they have at these cons here in Dallas, which the food's always been okay.
That would probably be the best thing to do is to go off-site if you can, because usually there's more options that are actually lower priced. If money is an issue, there's more variety, so you're not really stuck on paying $12 for sushi. But that is good sushi here, though. As you can see, I'm thinking about it. I'm kind of like, I kind of want to go grab some before they close. I need to see what time they close.
We'll look at that later. Yeah. I mean, literally, it just comes down to your pocketbook. What are you willing to spend? What are you willing to? And if for a lot of people, food isn't important because there's so many things in the dealer room that it may not be a bad idea to get. So if you can potentially get Taco Bell and just get a bunch of bean burritos and shove them in a refrigerator,
you don't even need a refrigerator.
You might be set.
We talked about this earlier.
See,
Taco Bell does not need refrigerator.
Yeah, it's the thought process behind it.
It's
the thought process behind it. I mean, even if it doesn't kill you, I'd still why risk it? Because let's say that you get
superpowers.
Let's say you get the goo goo butts or the
bubbly
guts, the bubbly boo guts. If you get the bubbly guts and you miss out on the con because you're on the toilet, well, that wasn't worth it. Now was it? Okay, so we have those special guests we were talking about, or special guest. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of this is the con special. We're basically talking about pro tips, things that you see, things that you got. And Willie, do you want to actually do the introductions? You are kind of our voice of Nerdgasm.
Am I?
In the sense that you
you
set everything up. So.
All right. So are y'all wanting to be in on it?
Especially if we're talking about con. I mean, I'm up in the 15 plus years of con experience now. So.
What about you, Philip?
Yeah, sure. I'll be in.
All right, y'all come to. I guess this is a slight pause break. I might edit this part a little bit, but y'all come to this side. The mic is kind of directional. So y'all can bring the chairs over to this area. I'll scoot the mic back some.
Gotcha.
Alright, so yeah, we had a little pause break there because we had some guests. We have CJ, aka Oddly Pretty, and we have Philip, aka Philip, with the hard PH
From the mean streets of Austin. He's so tough, he has no nickname.
He's so tough, his nickname is his nickname.
Everyone who's ever given him
his name.
Everyone who's ever given him a nickname has died.
Yes.
Like Goldberg. Goldberg did.
If you hear his real nickname, then you will die after listening to this.
Yeah, that's what it is. I have 13 nicknames, each one more terrifying than the
One is Steve.
It'd be funny if it was my name is Philip. My nickname is Philip. My second nickname is Philip.
But the fourth one's Phil.
It's Phillips all the way down.
Yeah, Bill.
Philistine. Alright, so we were doing pro tips for cons.
So
we've already covered
food hygiene.
Yeah, food hygiene.
Water. Drink all of the water.
Drink a lot of water. Yeah.
Water, more water. Do you feel strange? Does anything hurt? Water.
Yeah, like
drink more water.
Yeah, you might want to bring. That's a good point. You should probably bring like a bottle with you that you can just keep refilling and take around with you, because like the bottle in the stores, the bottle at the store, restaurants, all that stuff is going to be like $4 for a little bitty bottle, and that's stupid. And apparently, I learned today that the hotels, most of them will give you one bottle free in your room, but the other ones you have to pay $4 for, and you don't find that out until you drink them all, and you're like, oh no.
Well, I will say that it's been a long time since I've been to a con that wasn't just providing water left and right. Like, they have water coolers.
And this one does too.
Yeah, exactly. They have water coolers pretty liberally sprinkled around the joint. And it's just a matter of knowing where they're at, which I think that would be my like big con advice, or thing to keep in mind is just spatial and situational awareness. Like, always pretty much like be paying attention to where you are and where you're going and what pointy costume is coming at your face really fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say you almost got your head taken off. With
I did. Yeah, that guy's like guitar neck or whatever it was coming in pretty fast.
What was he cosplaying as?
I don't know. It was somebody from I want to say maybe it was like a One Piece thing.
Yeah, and he had some kind of sword.
He
guitar.
had like a hat and a guitar and a boa and no shirt and just like, I don't know. These are all things that I associate with One Piece. So, but whatever the case, there was a lot of stuff sticking off of his costume, and
he was not mindful of it as he walked the opposite direction.
He wasn't paying attention. I had to, and it got a little close. But yeah, just like know where everything is, or try to, so that you're not walking into people or finding yourself in a part of the building where there's nothing to drink, or at the very least, like, have your exit strategy, I guess.
Yeah,
that's a good tip.
And I can't overemphasize the water thing, because a lot of the time, if you are grumpy, it is because you are dehydrated. So like, even if it's just one person in your group is suddenly a total bitch and you don't know why, make them drink water.
Sure.
Like, it's amazing what being dehydrated, especially extremely dehydrated, it's not necessarily like, oh, I feel thirsty, or oh, I feel dehydrated. It's like, do you feel dizzy? Do you feel sick? Do you feel irritable? Do you feel anything that's not normal? Try drinking a cup of water.
Love.
Probably it will be okay.
Or they could be hangry too. We also talked about having snacks in the room, because sometimes you'll be with that person that's at the con that spent a lot of money, that they, that spent all their money essentially to come to the con and whatnot, and they're really too embarrassed to be like, man, I really don't want to spend $12 for a meal. I'll just kind of rough it. Now, if you're friends with these people, hopefully they're open with you about it, but always have something to snack on, just because you never know, and maybe the food isn't that great to begin with, so you're kind of waiting out your options.
And I hate this thing I'm about to say, because immediately it is hysterical, but protein snacks. Like, protein related snacks. If that's protein shakes, beef jerky, Lunchables, Beanie Weenies, I don't know. Like,
it took him a while to start laughing at that, which was some kind of.
I was holding it in.
But yeah, no, like,
I got a protein snack for you.
Yeah, that was as soon as I was like about to say that, I'm
and
like,
it's chocolate too.
This is gonna
with some nuts.
I could not keep my face straight if I saw some dude at a con just like sitting sadly, like eating Beanie Weenies straight out of the can with a plastic spoon.
I think I would have to go to a homeless person and be like,
yeah,
here you go, man.
Hey,
here you go. You need it more than I do. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then he's like, hell, this is awesome. I love Beanie Weenies, and I'm getting paid for it.
Thanks, Beanie Weenies.
Maybe that's his cosplay. The dude who's sad and needs some money, and he's
sad Beanie Weenie guy. All right.
But yeah, but something that's got some protein in it. Because I think that even less than I'm always on like kind of a big nutritional kick, but you can't live on just Pocky, and it's not just because it's sugary. You know?
As I just bought 2 boxes of it.
Fucking Willie's over here going, I can.
I've been actually think this whole time and like looking at that box like I.
Oh no, you can eat Pocky.
He passed me that. He was distracting me.
It's like anything. Like talking about sushi. He's like, sushi sounds good right now. Watch this. In-N-Out burger, man.
Shut up. All right, continue. Sorry.
Double. Animal style.
Oh, we might have another guest.
We might have.
Maybe they brought the towels or the refrigerator or the glove room.
Hi.
We're podcasting. You want to be on it?
Want to be on a podcast?
That was a random person came to the wrong room.
Is that kind of bird costume? What's his
It's like
costume,
a bird kikigurumi.
You know, it's also funny. Like, it's fairly warm outside right now, and you know you see these cosplayers in these really elaborate hot costumes. I'll be in like we had a pajama night or a pajama party thing where like we watched Saturday morning cartoons all day. You know, I told everybody to show up in pajamas in my house, and like about halfway through, I was like, I gotta take this shit off. It's too hot.
I'm sitting here with shorts and a t-shirt, and I'm sweating. I am a sweater, but damn, it's still warm to me. So I don't see how people don't look at me like that, Betty.
Did you turn
Betty? Betty.
That's my mom's name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
My parents have the most American names you could possibly think of.
Betty and like Smith.
Kip and Betty Smith. Kip and Betty Smith.
Kip.
Yeah, like Napoleon Dynamite.
Kip. Yes.
Don't be mad because I've been chatting hot chicks all day.
No offense, that is like the widest name I've ever heard.
It's a pretty white dude.
I feel weird now, like I don't know, because kind of like if someone said that's the blackest name in a room full of black people, they would kind of feel uncomfortable. I just said it's the widest name in a room full of white people.
Only if my name actually was Kip would I be a little weirded out by that. Like,
Wait, it's not?
Actually, all white people are named Kip.
I knew it. That was one of the secrets.
I'm Kip.
But that's actually his nickname though.
That nickname.
That's one of the 13.
Yeah,
That's why. Now that you said it, he's got to kill you.
Yeah, he didn't want to say it because it's a secret among white people that Kip is everyone's name.
Okay, we're getting off topic here. So,
Protein snacks.
Yeah, let's get back to Dick.
Eat lots of protein.
you heard it here. CJ says, eat lots of protein.
And Philip says, get back to Dick.
Get back to Dick.
The basics.
Giggity.
Part of the food pyramid.
It's the biggest group.
You gotta have the right number of servings.
3 to 5 weeks.
What would you say is the right number of
The right
servings
number
of
of
Dick?
servings. Like daily.
Yeah.
About 8 inches. Oh, I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got to be right up there, like at the top of the pyramid somewhere, like with snacks.
At the tip?
Yeah, the
Could
tip. Tip of the pyramid.
Could you imagine walking into like a high school or something and seeing the food pyramid?
But it's shaped like a penis?
Is that Dick? It's food inspector. We just need to say how much dick you're serving. Are you going balls deep on the dick?
And the whole time he's like, okay.
Alright, so what was our actual subject?
Well, we were still talking about pro tips.
Okay.
Yeah, are we still doing pro tips? Okay.
But if
Pro tips.
I think
Sorry,
we're done.
Tips.
We're done with that for now. We can move on to something else.
Okay. What's next?
What's next? Well, we were going to talk about... Actually, this is probably going to be the highlight. And since we have more people here, we should probably do it. Willie's going to tell everybody a story about the worst possible grab bag you could possibly get at a con.
Oh boy.
Now, Willie's bag was so bad, and like he didn't make it up. We saw it happen. That it was mind-boggling. Like it was so bad that like
I cried.
you know you can't get a refund. You really can't get refunds from these people when you buy something. All sales are final, generally speaking. This one, I probably would have had an issue. But I'm really easygoing. I would have been like, hey, it's a grab bag. I fucked up, whatever. I would have said something, because this was bullshit. Now, Willie?
Oh yeah, wait.
I was gonna say, I have to tell you, I just realized that you're my nemesis. Like, or I'm your nemesis, or whatever.
You
like
always
in that,
get the best bag?
Yeah,
go ahead and tell us what your best bag has been.
Suddenly I can't think of the M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Yeah, you're
the
like,
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. You're my Samuel L. Jackson.
Motherfucker.
Because I always get the good, like, not with the grab bags, but any of those ones where you get to, the pick ones that are where you get the figure. Like, I have so many Chase figures. For a while, every one I would pull would be the Magic Secret figure. Like, to the point that I had to buy extras of anything I wanted because I would always get the super secret one, but not like any of the normal one. Yeah, like if I just got one, I would just get the secret one.
The struggle is real.
That's called a first world problem.
Yeah, but no, Philip can attest to this. I had one time where it was like I bought one Naruto figure and it was like the magical Tsunade one before she'd even appeared in the anime and it was just a manga character and it was her in a yukata and it was like, what? This isn't even on the box. Like there wasn't even like a blacked out figure on the box.
You listeners at home, my eyebrows just raised. Like, what the fuck?
Like clearly, like I'm sorry.
And it wasn't until last year's Animefest that he got a good one, a good grab bag, but only because I was talking to the guy about it and was like, look, man, this dude, and I kind of briefly told him the story. I was like, look, is there good shit in this bag? And he kind of looked at me funny. I was like, no, seriously, because like we don't want to jerk around. My friend over here got fucked over pretty bad the last time, and we kind of proceeded to tell him the story. He was like, oh God. And he went and grabbed a good messenger bag, and he was like, we'll put this one in there too, man, or something.
Yeah, he went and grabbed. He was like,
he felt them and he goes, I know this one's good. I packed this one myself.
Yeah,
that's what.
And I was like, are you fucking with me right now? I really said that. Are you fucking with me right now? He's like, no, and I'm like, this feels like a trap. Like I think I'm paranoid, so I think a lot of things are traps. And that seemed like a real trap. And I was like, you know what? What else I have to lose? And it was one of the best bags
I think you risked the fact that you would probably open it right there. And I think you did.
Yeah.
You were like, and then the tear, you could see pure joy in Willie's face. And I shit you not, it was like being a little kid again watching him. Because he was like, a grown-up was nice to me, thank you. But anyways, tell your awesome story of the worst bag you've ever gotten.
I can't remember.
I want to hear this now.
I think this was at SGC, actually. It was either Animefest, or not Animefest. It was either Acon or SGC. I think it was Acon. 2014. But, pro tip. Make sure if you are doing a grab bag that you considered which vendor you're going from, because what type of stuff that they sell will affect what type of grab bag you'll get. So don't go to a dude doing comic books only if you're hoping to get anime type stuff or something. But, alright, so I go to the guy and I see grab bags, and for some reason, I cannot resist a grab bag. So that's why I don't do lottery and casinos.
He gets all itchy. He's like, oh man, I gotta know what's in all these bags.
And so every time I pass them, I do get that itch, and I'm like, I reach out to him. But yeah, so I go to this guy. He's doing grab bags, $25 for a grab box or whatever, mystery box, and I'm like, okay. And he's selling stuff like comic books and things like that. So I'm like, okay. I didn't think ahead about him not having anime comic books. It was just actual comic books. So I buy the box. I go back up to our hotel and I open it. This was the worst box I have ever seen in my entire life.
I've never seen one.
I haven't seen one
that bad.
It had promotional movie stuff for 1,000 Ways. Seth MacFarlane's movie, 1,000 Ways to Die in the West. It had a T-shirt of it. Plastic.
Wasn't it small?
Yeah, it was a small T-shirt of it. A small little plastic cup that said 1,000 Ways to Die.
The shit you would get from at the movie theater.
Chapstick with for Divergent chapstick. So it just had the Divergent writing on it or whatever. 3 Divergent pins. A random football card. I was some random person. I googled it. I was like, maybe this is worth. No, it was 10-cent football card, and I'm like, what?
One of these things is not like the other.
What else was in there? Okay, I'm gonna get to the crazy part, but I'm trying to think. some of the other stupid stuff. Some random like I thought it was like a Batman comic or whatever, but like when I Google it, it's like it doesn't really exist. So I think it's some fake weird knockoff. But this is a kicker. There was a lot of other shitty shit in that shitty box. Shitty beef.
Well,
But
the 1,000 Ways to Die in the West thing was the best thing in that.
Yeah, and then random Polaroid photos. So like the old Polaroid camera where you print it, it like comes out and you shake it. Yeah. Polaroid cameras, a random like 70s B celebrities like Elvira and like things like that. I think a couple porn stars, like pictures, Polaroid pictures of them at some random party.
That's fucking bizarre.
I know.
It's not only bizarre, they weren't even really good shots.
Yeah,
they weren't posing for anything.
No, it was
some were just like looking down or like at a table. I think some of them were from a con from way back in the day.
I think it's just like a weird party. Like it was a 70s porn shoot party, possibly like wrap up. But so I was like, what the fuck?
None of them was signed either.
Yeah, not signed. Like
if Elvira signed it, I'd be like, okay.
I don't think they knew they even had pictures taken of them.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like.
Like,
and
it
so,
sounds
like none of them were looking at the camera and smiling.
Yeah, you got like illegal Polaroid pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what I've done to this box since then, but like, yeah. So I'm like, oh no, this motherfucker didn't. And
$25 too.
Yeah. And so I'm so angry.
That's the height. That's usually the good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like my split personality is starting to come out and stuff. Like the kind, gentle Whitley was like, no, this motherfucker needs to get taken care of. So like I go down there and I'm like, yeah, I bought a mystery box from you and stuff, and I start describing the stuff in it, and he honestly thought he gave me a really good box. He was like, yeah, I know, right? He's like, those pictures, I had hundreds of them at home, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with these, so I threw them in the box. I figured someone would like them. And, like, he had this smile, and I was like, he really doesn't realize how pissed I actually am about this, and, like, he doesn't realize how bad of a box this is. And so, like, at the end and stuff, I'm like, I really want to punch him, but he was just really ignorant of the fact of how horrible the box was.
Or
so I had to just let it go.
He was like, after you left, he was like,
woo!
Yeah, motherfucker! Yeah!
Perfect.
So yeah, like it was the worst box. It made me like not want to do, like I'm really hesitant to do actual grab bags from now on.
I was gonna
say, do you not have a grab bag?
Hold on a second.
Hey, I said that I have a problem. And so every time I see a grab bag, I still have to. And I've had better luck. Like I've won an Xbox One from like a gas station on Q there in Oklahoma. There's our Quick Trips here, and I don't know what other places have. But a text to win thing, and I won an Xbox One.
Hey.
So I've been having better stuff with it.
Karmically, like, that should balance out. At the very least, you know, there's some people that just have stupid rotten luck. You just have stupid rotten luck with grab bags. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Willie bought a grab box. Or not a box.
Mystery
grab
bag.
And he's going to open it up on the air, even though you can't even see it. We're going to describe it in great detail.
I'm excited.
You'll hear the sorrow in my voice if it's like another one. It's just all pictures.
Okay, so first tell us where you got it from. It like isn't an anime.
He did the right thing.
Okay, it was from like an anime dealer.
I think.
It's from the dude who sold you the cells.
Oh
the
yeah.
animation
Okay.
cells.
Cool.
And
Watch there be the cell that you really want.
Oh my god, if there was, I would die.
She would kill me for it. Like it actually, they said that it should have one DVD, one manga, one model, I think, and 5 or 6 just random stuff.
Wow.
Actually, it said it's supposed to be $50 to $100 worth of stuff, and it was like $20 and so let's see. Oh dear Lord Jesus. Okay.
So I'm gonna interpret everything as you're doing it. Willie is opening the bag. He's kind of struggling because it's stapled.
Yeah, I know. I felt sad. I'm like, I cannot open paper bag. I can't open paper bag. Okay, here we go.
What do we got?
Alright.
First thing?
It looks like a toy. It is.
Looks like a toy, and it is a. Oh shit!
What's this from?
Turn it this way.
Oh, it's oh, damn it. I recognize that character. I'm like, oh, it's her.
It's Japanese.
Hold on, it has her name on there. Rikoron?
Rikoron.
Who's looking at her in the back? I was gonna say, I think she's from Sakura Wars.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah, she is from Sakura Wars. I recognize those
Because
characters.
those are yeah.
Okay, sweet. That's not bad, really. Then, I mean, it's actually a decent sized model and stuff.
And you can tell it's one of the good ones because it comes
I don't
with a
think
CD.
that's a model. That's a
Because with a
action
CD?
figure, son.
Awesome. Yeah, it does
Yeah,
have a
those
CD.
usually have like little audio dramas on them, which you can't understand. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for those
Hey,
who are
take
listening,
note.
it's like all Japanese writing or Chinese and like a couple of English words. Basically.
Take note, American makers of toys, adding little stuff like that and American stuff is pretty badass.
Okay, so we got the model down. Let's reach into this.
It's like getting a Masters of the Universe.
Either.
Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh,
You already have it,
Well, I have like the box sets. Yeah, but I'm just saying this is actually at least
decent.
yeah,
a decent thing. It's actually a show I like.
You get like the first season of fucking Barney in
Yeah,
one
it
of
is.
these.
Is it just like from the middle of the
Yeah,
series?
it's episodes. It's Yu Yu Hakusho, and it's episodes 57 through 59.
Oh, that's one. It's a single stick. Those are like dinosaurs.
Speaking of which, this same vendor, and I'll tell the story a little later, but this same vendor had cells from Bubblegum Crisis, which is the anime that probably killed anime for me, and why I probably didn't watch it for a long time.
Really?
But there's a good reason.
Go ahead and explain that, because you can't just say that and then
Yeah, I was gonna
continue
say.
there.
Okay,
Well, is
so-
this like a story that's familiar to all of your listeners, and it's
No,
gonna be like a rerun?
I don't think I've even told it.
Okay.
My deal with anime was back in the day when Orion Pictures were releasing everything under Streamline and manga was kind of a new company and whatnot. That's the stuff that I really liked. I liked the feature films, Fist of the North Star, Vampire Hunter D, 8 Men After, those types of movies, because I really didn't know Studio Ghibli at the time. And I would watch any anime that I could possibly get my hands on. Well, I got bought it. I remember I bought it on VHS. Keep in mind, this is when like Suncoast was still around.
Oh yeah.
So, and that was kind of your only bet to get it because the internet wasn't quite as
And
popular.
you could pick subbed or dubbed.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing was, I would go and buy movies. I mean, it's kind of what I was into. So the unfortunate thing is those movies cost a fortune, $30 for a VHS,
Yeah.
maybe 2 episodes.
For the cheap ones.
Bubblegum Crisis was one of the VHSs that I bought, and I remember being like, I don't know, and I kind of got into it. And I might have had 3 episodes on there for $30. So that's $10 an episode on VHS. And then they didn't get any more. And I was like, you know what, this is just too fucking expensive. And back in the day, they used to have t-shirts at cons that would say anime, it's cheaper than crack. Or no, it's more expensive than crack. That's what
Crack would be cheaper.
Or something along those lines.
I know a
And
guy who.
that was
you
true.
do.
That was so true. Like, you didn't get
Not
much of a value for it, and at that point, I was just like, fuck it. I'm done with anime for now. I can't afford it.
I actually have a very similar story with manga, where one of the early mangas that I got into Angel Sanctuary and X right at the same time, and bought the first about 5 to 8 of them, and then was like, how long are these? And then started calculating, okay, $10 a volume at the time for the next like 200 volumes, and it's not even done in Japan yet. Like, peace, I'm out. Like, I can't do this.
And now everything is so easy to get.
God.
I think it's not that I have a beef with them. I think I just run out of time. I'm so backlogged on other things. What would be video games or movies or something like that. You have to really kind of pick and choose now. I just don't have the time to really sit down.
Did you have to?
Yeah.
You have to.
Because it does. I mean, like, back in the day, if you were an anime fan, and there weren't, I mean...
No, the culture
I mean,
has
like,
shifted quite a bit here in
it
America.
was expensive. Like, movies, feature-length movies, $40, I mean, that's...
If you could find them.
That's right. And Suncoast's selection was
That was
nothing.
great.
Like, it was, you had a little wall if you were lucky, and you could kind of be like, well, I'm using like Devilman, which was another good one. I really like that series. You like Devilman episodes 5, 6 and 7. Where's the beginning ones? And they just never had them then.
Yep.
And you could special order them, but it would take like months, and you'd have to pay for them right then and there. It was just a pain in the ass. So kids, appreciate the fact that you can get everything on demand for the most part right now. All right, continue with your bag.
One quick thing about the grab bags and stuff too, like that guy who gave me the good one because we told him the story.
Oh man, he felt bad for you.
I know, and
I played it up a little bit though. I was like, and then he broke his arm. He broke your arm? No, I'm just
like in that I got like a chess piece, Clamp Studios.
Oh yeah.
You seen those chess pieces?
Oh yeah,
the three
those
of
are
them.
cool.
So it had that in it, and I'm like, what are these? I never, but I really love Studio Clamp. So I was like, okay, that's really cool and stuff. So I was like, well, I guess I won't ever get any more of these. And then at one of the previous cons too, I bought a bag, and it had like, this guy from the last con that I went to, he actually would make the bags in front of you. Like he wasn't off making the bags. You can see him as he's making some of the other ones. Mm-hmm. And he was putting like nothing but good stuff in. So I ended up buying one. And it had another set that I didn't have of those chess pieces.
Nice.
Then on my birthday, my friend Julius, Jules, y'all know him.
Fade Alexander.
Yes. He happened to be at one of the vintage stocks there in Oklahoma, which I don't know if they have the vintage stocks.
Not familiar.
it's called the American Movie Trading Company or something like
that.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh.
It's the same company though.
So like he's in there and just randomly had used or just 4 different boxes of chess pieces from the Clamp thing, like the actual full boxes. And they had them on sale, just randomly. And so he got me, one for my birthday. Then I went back and was able to work out a deal with him because the boxes weren't in great condition. I was like, man, can you discount me? So he ended up giving me one free and then giving me the other ones and stuff. And so now I have, all together, 20 pieces or so.
You have the full set now?
Not yet the full set, but I actually am on my way, which was,
cool.
really cool.
That is cool.
So yeah, I guess the box sets are starting to, or the random bags are starting to shift the other way. Not reaching here, it's actually a piece of shit. Like actual, that was that smell was. Oh, they got me again. Oh, you guys. Ooh, Tsubasa manga.
Speaking of Clamp.
Yeah, Clamp Studios. Volume 17. I'm showing it to the mic like it can see. Volume 17 of this, which I actually enjoyed the anime. I bought the Blu-ray back when Funimation and the other studios were just releasing Blu-ray anime. I bought Tsubasa Chronicles and I really liked it.
Cool.
So far it's actually been pretty decent. Italia, one of those wall cling or window decal images.
Okay.
I'm not an Italia fan, really, even though I owned it at one point.
And that's an anime, not Talia. We know you.
Yeah, Italia.
I'm not a huge Italia fan, but that is England.
Yes.
Just so for the listeners at home.
Yes. Oh my God. Do you like?
I'm not into Italia.
We'll find something for it or someone who.
We'll give it away to one of our listeners.
Yeah, I know, right? What?
What do we got there?
I don't know. Looks like
playing cards?
stickers or player cards. You look and see what you think.
Are they? They're Pokemon. Oh, they're stamps. They're stamps.
What?
You put them in an ink pad.
Oh,
they're
that's
ink
cool.
pad stamps. Those are actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. A Pokemon. These are Japanese ones too. Japanese writing. Got Pikachu. That's Psyduck. Psyduck, you.
Do they have Wake Up Snorlax? Now have I ever told that story on I don't know. I'm not going to.
You can tell it after we finish the grab bags, but that's pretty cool.
It's not that funny. It's funny
stamps.
3 or 4 people.
So far, it's actually been a really good bag.
Not bad. Got a ball there, some sort.
Ooh, from
It's a Gashapon, isn't it?
Yes. So last time I had one of these, I got a figure for Tangan, not Tangaron. No, the fighting game, Tenjo Tenge.
Tenshu.
No. It's a fighting game. It's like the better version of Ikitozen to me.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me think of getting one of the. Okay, so you said one of the things that you said in there was Tengu, which made me think it's Tenga. The ones that make the.
Oh my God! The sex toys.
like now I'm picturing
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be back.
We're gonna go ahead and
Is
call
that
this one for
that's the company that
Yeah,
looks
they
like
make-
the little
they
eggs,
make
right?
Tenge.
Yeah.
No, that's the anime is
Tenjo.
Tenge, which is really fun, and in the opening song, Bomba Head, it's cool. But look, it's Tenge.
So those things, they make the little tiny egg ones, right?
Yes.
Are they the company that does that? Okay, so look,
Someone knock on our
brilliant
door.
business idea.
You check our door, please, Philip.
All right.
Brilliant business idea. Gashapon version of this. You don't know which one you're gonna get. They come in the little Gashapon eggs, but then you open it up and it's one of the dick eggs. I could be a millionaire.
Go for it. I don't know. I mean, no.
Like random dick egg. What's there not to like?
Okay.
Do you really want to randomize your sex experience?
Maybe
though?
maybe you've tried it all, and that's part of the.
All right.
That's part of the
Oh, are you guys
Total
looking these up
stimulator?
now?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Just
Yeah.
the little egg one. Like
Wait, what is that? Is that like?
it's like smoking. I don't.
Yeah, it said AirTech, and it was coming out the bottom like it was a fucking rocket boost.
That's what it does.
Like, see that? Like, what else could it be?
Okay, those look like children's toys.
Yeah.
What?
That. What? I don't know what that is.
Is that a Beyblade?
I don't know what that was. For those of you listening, we.
Yeah, time out for sex toys.
Yeah,
I don't know
we're
how
now
we.
all sitting in a room together looking at sex toys. That is what is happening here.
Wow,
Sculpted ecstasy.
one of the me trying to sing Tenge reminded oddly pretty about this Japanese company that makes sex toys. Tanga sex toys disposable ones, I guess. Is
Yeah,
you
they
consider
look like
your
little
pockets.
eggs, and that thing. Aerostimulate. I don't want to discover the sensation of aerostimulation. Thanks.
It blows you off.
Sure you don't.
Wait,
I'm pretty
I
sure.
mean,
Okay.
it blows you away.
Okay.
This Pocky's stuck together, so there's 8 of them. What?
So
You're gonna finish
eating it
opening
in
your.
manner of a-
Yeah,
Yes.
let's opening your thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
let's at least open the gosh pond.
We got
Yeah.
distracted.
With Pocky. He's got 15
It
Pocky in
looks
his mouth
like
right
he's
now.
holding a poodle.
I was gonna say if we're doing all these sex toy conversations.
Extremerestraints.com.
Extremerestraints.com.
My brother and me.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, I'm on episode 160.
it's so good.
Tinga, if you
I
send
started-
us some stuff,
Yeah.
Willie will try it out.
Now's your time to get a
We'll do a
sponsorship
review.
deal.
Yeah.
Live stream.
Tinga, when you want a Tinga-ling.
And you're dingling.
God damn it. Are you having trouble with the
I feel
gosh
like that's
pond?
just, it's gonna be
Okay, well, there we
take
go.
up, put your dick in an egg. Like,
Put your dick in it.
So what do we got?
Alright, so that is from Tinker.
Oh,
Oh, that's nice. Boobies. Boobies, they jiggle.
is that a little, it's, oh my god.
Is it-
Wow.
It's a figure that has boobs that jigger.
It's like one of those little, like the little hula girl,
What is
except
it?
instead of it being her hips, it's her boobs.
Man. Yeah, put it on the dash of your car.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on my work desk.
Yeah.
Wow, that girl's boobs are huge.
We need to talk about
She's being
this thing.
smothered in her own boobs.
And it's from Tenge also.
I need to, yeah. Let's...
I actually like that. I like that
Okay,
show.
so that one is clearly this one is for the purpose of mocking ourselves. I can only imagine. Everyone, all these other things look fairly.
Becky's laughing at me because I'm I'm hypnotized. I'm just sitting there shaking. I'm like,
As they say, boobs.
Yes. So this is of the main character, the younger sister, boobs.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, next item.
Next boobs.
Did you know that there's a cookie clicker game, but you click the girl's boobs and they make little
No.
and you can
That's
then
terrible.
hire other people to click the boobs for you. Just like in cookie clicker.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
No, I knew there is a game where her Android app where you blow in your phone and it makes the girl's skirt and stuff fly up, and it's like a Japanese girl. She's like, Figure out how
That might
much
be
you
fun
blow
for
it.
10
called
seconds.
Pug.
Yeah.
What's wrong with everything? What do we got?
Pokemon? Is it
Pokemon
a
Metal.
Cool.
I don't know. I don't want to open it. Something's in there.
Let's see. See if I can decipher.
It's like Pokemon metal. Kind
It
of weird.
looks like it's got literally like a gym badge
Oh, cool.
in there that's like randomized.
A Pokemon gym bag.
Gym
badge. God, I want to open it, but I don't want to open it.
Do
Alright,
it.
I'll set it aside.
Okay.
I will, but I'll set it aside for now. I'm deciding in my mind.
How many stuff do you have left?
A couple things. Digimon,
Cards?
Digital Monster card things.
Digital monsters.
Oh, battle cards.
Oh, battle cards.
Okay, cool.
Was it there's a couple cards in there? I used to love Digimon. At least the show.
I've never seen a single episode.
Is it Boo? Or what's his name after he?
I don't know.
Dragon
What
Ball?
is that?
It's very,
It's from Majin Buu after he's reincarnated. I can't remember the name of him, what he becomes at
I
that
feel like
point.
he's like a little finger puppet.
Is that the end, or is there still more?
I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Well,
yeah, that's
how would you rate that bag?
I would
Yeah.
say actually 7.5 to 8.
7.5 to 8.
I mean, it's not like overall this even though it's stuff that I either already the Yu Yu Hakusho, I already have like the box sets of the seasons and stuff, and that's just a random 3 episode or whatever. But it's actually a decent show or a good show, so that's cool.
Did we ever?
Tsubasa manga, the show's good. The manga, I believe, was good as well. I like Clamp, so that was a plus there. Just
Yeah,
overall.
there was nothing from like it's some weird knockoff thing, and there's nothing that's like no one's ever heard of. I mean, like we were able to figure out what everything was, which that's always my fear in those grab boxes is that it's like, okay, but like what if you open up one of the what if you don't know what any of the things are?
Yes.
I think now that I'm thinking about it, here's how these things should be approached. You get like your entire room or whatever, your group of friends who's gone, and everybody gets in on it together. Everybody buys one, and then you all trade.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
I've done that before, but
You do like a grab bag draft.
it used to be though. Like one of my friends when we went to Tokyo and Tulsa, this was back pre-decent grab bags. We both bought for the same place and stuff. This is actually my first experience with grab bags. And we went back to the room and opened them up, and every single item was like a great item. Every single item I opened up in mine was horrible and just dumb as fuck. And I was like, so you want to trade some of this? He's like, nah, I'm cool on that. So you got to be careful too. Like that works unless like one in the group just gets
I don't think you
shit.
can do it. I don't think you can do it with 2 people. I think you've got to do it with the
You gotta do a large group.
Yeah, you got to get like 4 or 5.
You can also resell. Like I've done that too. Like gone down to the floor, and like I didn't get anything good in this bag that I want. Is the stuff that you like, and like I've had someone actually buy my grab bag off of me. But I did that one time and forgot that I had put my fairy tale like wooden carving things in there until I got home, and I was like, oh my god, I just sold him that bag with my stuff.
Shitty luck.
I know. I just sold him my shitty grab bag with stuff that made it no longer a shitty grab bag at a discounted price.
You messed up so bad.
See, that's why I think this trading thing is
the better idea.
Because I can't resist.
I bought a shitty grab bag once. Once.
And then you're just like, no more?
Yeah.
Do you know right now what I'm
Actually, I
thinking?
think you bought me the shitty grab. I think that was that. No, that was that. The one that. No. It had Disgaea wrapping paper on it, and they guaranteed that one of the items in the bag
Was related to
the wrapping paper, and so either you got it for me or I borrowed money from you to get it.
Yeah,
This was
is
way
starting
back.
to sound like
And-
this was like while we were still in college.
Yeah, and way back yesterday. Just now. Yeah, and then I opened it up, and like the thing that was in there that was part of the Disgaea thing was like a tiny sheet of stickers, and all the other stuff in it was shitty.
Yeah.
And it was just like, man, no.
Well, I will say that's one thing with anime cons these days is as they've gotten more mainstream and more accessible to everyone, and they've gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, most of the just like total shysters have kind of been drummed out.
That's true.
Now, which that was not always the case back a few years ago.
Still a lot of bootlegging though. Be careful about that if you care about having something that's authentic. There's a lot of people who'll sell things that are not authentic now.
I just remember the finger puppet that came in the bag. It's Oob. Yeah, that's his name. It's what the reincarnation of Majin Buu happens, and he becomes a kid that Goku trains before the GT saga, which we don't speak of, the GT saga. It never happened. I mean, even Toriyama doesn't acknowledge it as happening in like the new Dragon Ball series Super. Basically just acts as if that never occurred, which is a good thing. But I do want to point out that the internet worked for when I was looking at the Tang sex toys, but when I went to Google Majin Buu, the internet didn't work. So even the internet's perverted. It's like, oh, sex toys?
Was there much doubt of that though?
Oh, true. It's like, yeah, sex toys go through. Majin Buu, nah. Hold up a second. All right, what
Nerds.
What other topics?
Just con-related topics.
Sure, or
whatever.
are you watching the live stream right now while we're podcasting?
You guys were talking about stuff I didn't really understand. We're getting back to it now. Okay. So, did anybody see any Parasite stuff in the dealer room?
Parasite stuff. No, I saw one guy who was cosplaying from
Yeah.
Parasite.
Yeah, he had Mickey.
Yeah, but I didn't see any merchandise
Merchandise?
Yeah, any merchandise. There was no merchandise.
I didn't. You just coined a new phrase. It kind of makes sense.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I like merchandise.
I did not see any Parasite merch.
That's a shame. I guess it's kind of new, right? As far as like being dubbed and stuff.
Well,
So
Dub
maybe
had
the
a
popularity?
weird- No, it's popular. It's just I'm
talking
kind of
about with, like,
surprised
mainstream.
actually. The last con had quite a bit of stuff of it.
See, I can remember when you could see nothing but Full Metal Alchemist and Naruto stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't see that shit anymore at all.
That's-
Not really. Well, at least Full Metal Alchemist, you don't see anything.
I still see a lot of Full Metal Alchemist like fan art stuff, like
Yeah.
on the Artist Alley side of stuff. It does seem that like it's mostly out of the merch areas, and Naruto really is pretty much just like gone. I still see
Yeah.
lots of cosplay from it, but not really much of it for sale
Yeah.
anymore. Which
Like,
I mean,
That makes sense.
That's the nature of the beast, though. Like, I mean,
What's the new hotness? Because like
Willie.
when I started paying attention to like what they actually had, like Black Butler was kind of popular.
Tokyo
you know-
Ghoul.
you know-
This is years
I was
ago.
gonna say, I would say that the most popular thing right now in terms of like what I see like ton of cosplayers and a ton of merchandise and a ton of stuff is Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
true.
pretty much every
that,
year.
that's big. And I'll tell you the other thing. Like, in terms of just like seeing the big mobs of like people in whatever. Like, you used to see the big just like mob of Naruto or Bleach or whatever. These days, it seems like it's the sports anime stuff.
yeah, a lot
like-
of sports anime
Yeah,
and
did
a
that
lot
kind
of
of become popular?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like hugely popular.
Freed, and there's that Otto Wada, the volleyball one.
Say
What's
Haikyuu-
the basketball one?
Haikyuu.
Basketball.
Yeah, Haikyuu is one, and Yowamushi Pedal,
The
which is
basketball one?
Yeah, there's a basketball one now too.
Well, there was an old one, Slam Dunk.
Oh,
or
Slam
something
Dunk.
like that.
well, it's
I
always
like
been a thing, but only recently has it like blown up over here in large part because of Free. I
Yeah, I think that's probably
And
accurate.
there's swimmers, right?
Yeah.
think Free is swimmers, and then there was the volleyball one, which I think that's Haikyuu.
I think that
right?
one's Haikyuu.
And then there's a basketball one that I don't know the name of, and there's a bicycling one, which is
Wada pedal or something.
Yowamushi Pedal, which I don't know a thing about it.
My friend watches it and he doesn't know why.
Is the basketball one Kuroko no Basket, or is that one's
Sure.
older though? Isn't it?
I honestly
They
don't
like
know.
I remember Slam Dunk from back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's new
Yeah.
ones. There's still Prince of Tennis is like a new
Prince of
shit,
Tennis
I've watched
was
that.
Prince of Tennis was one that like kind of
I like
almost achieved
basketball.
critical mass over here. there was I remember there was another one, and this was like a really big one over there that again I don't think ever really caught on over here. It was called like Ice Shield 21 or something, which was actually like
oh my god, that is such a that's such a good show. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you watch it. I think can't remember if they started actually dubbing some of them. But if not, you still should watch the sub because I doubt it will ever get a complete dub of the entire series. But yeah, it's just like a football anime. The main quarterback, he's pretty much a tiny kid who always gets bullied, and so he learned to basically be able to dodge the bullies and stuff. And he run really fast, so it's kind of like he would mentally be able to see the path to like the quickest method to get around stuff. And so he inadvertently becomes the quarterback of the team that the school mascot or the high school team, he gets basically bullied into joining it, and he wears the helmet that has like a visor on it so it blocks his face so no one knows who he is. And so basically it's everybody trying to figure out who this awesome amazing quarterback or awesome and amazing running back who
Who's a running back?
Yeah, running back. I think that's the position. I'm not big on the football. He's the one that they either handed off to. He runs.
He could be a fullback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's.
And I'm a nerd, so not a football nerd. And it's just really cool because
is he tiny?
He's really tiny, and so it's hard to. And it's just like with any sports anime or fighting anime or something like that. Like it starts out, no one's like ever seen anyone as talented as this. I'll hand it to him, and you'll see this green line that he's like seeing the best path to get through everyone. He's like flipping through all this and gets like a touchdown. And then as he goes to other schools that they're playing against, it's like, oh, this dude is called the Bullet, and so he throws passes that no one can see and stuff. And
I see what you're saying.
or this one's the Brick. You can't block his defense, and now all of a sudden he has to figure out a way to overcome not being able to just run around him or stuff. And so it just progresses, and it's just a comedy football. But I really love sports animes, even though I'm not into.
I can't imagine what a Japanese football team would be.
It was.
Yeah, I know. It's really,
would get slaughtered.
That's the thing that always blew me away about that was like someone in Japan cared enough about American football to make hundreds of chapters of a manga about it.
That's
or like basketball too.
That's even in that manga though. Like that they're trying to go to the U.S., prove themselves as being good enough to actually take on U.S. teams.
Nice.
And stuff.
Problem is they're gonna have to
bulk up.
Yeah.
America.
I mean, you got natural sinners with your sumo wrestlers, but beyond that, like, dude, a linebacker would kill.
Maybe a sumo wrestler wants to be a receiver, wide receiver. Why we gotta always like put him in the box? That comes with personal stuff, like because I'm such a big kid when we play at like school and stuff. Even though for my size, I was a fast kid, but because I'm this size, they would always make me be a blocker. And I'm like, I don't want to. Like, no, you are. And I'm like, I don't want to. And this is like in recess and stuff. And so, yeah.
Sad times.
Yeah. Like,
people think it's sad.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of sports anime, and some of it is interesting to me. Like, I know there's been a couple good baseball series.
I was gonna say, I just got wrecked. Major. Is apparently the name of it. Major.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know that one. I remember there's been a couple of good football as in soccer sort of series. Like I think it's called like Inazuma 11 or something like that. That looks like it's pretty fun. And like I said, a couple good baseball ones, and then Prince of Tennis. And then if you really want to get into it, I mean, there's always been like racing anime,
like
Initial D and stuff. So
that soundtrack, I warn you and urge you, do not listen to Initial D's soundtrack, the Eurobeat music when you're racing or driving.
Yeah.
Like you
will suddenly you just nailed it. You will be racing whether you want to or not.
You won't realize it. You're like, I am the rising sun.
Like, I do want to be running in the 90s.
I know.
Oh no, I'm arrested.
I actually. I don't. Becky, Zach, have either of you ever watched Initial D? Okay, it's basically like a drifting.
I mean, I know what it is. Based on a video game.
And like, the arcade there at the RGS.
No, I mean, I remember when it was in Cold Spring Mall.
It's so like that show. Like, I'd be on YouTube or something, and one of those songs will come on, and there's like this curve around like whenever I'm going to work. And like that song's on, I actually have taken that curve, like realized that I sped up and like was trying to hit it.
Oh, whoops! I was about to try to drift and kill myself.
Like I really was trying to find the groove or the little rut in the side of the road where I could drift properly, like they did in the show. And I'm like, I'm in a hybrid. What am I?
You know what would be even funnier if you were in like a smart car?
Yes.
Like,
I'm drifting, bitches.
At least the good thing about being in the smart car
Call me the fast
you
and the
probably wouldn't be able to go fast enough in the smart car to kill yourself.
True.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, you get to a fender bender and it just totals your car. like fucking thing hits it and it just crumples inward.
I guess that's the kind of like big like
Well,
cosplay
that's
trends
what we're in
sort of
now.
stuff. Yeah, and although I will say the other thing that bears mentioning is that like slowly but surely, cosplay for American stuff is
Yeah,
actually
I was actually gonna say
starting to
that.
like push out some of the anime. Like I think this has been
Avatar.
yeah, I mean there's always been some Avatar. This has been like the year of like the Steven Universe characters.
Steven Universe.
Yeah, they've kind of like hit the big takeover where that's been a sizable chunk of cosplayers, and of course there's been like ponies and Homestuck around for a couple years now.
And I think, you know, the reason for that would be, you know, obviously anime isn't just for kids over in Japan, it's basically their media.
Yeah.
You know, whereas finally our writers here in the United States have, I'm not saying that they, you know, totally market towards adults, but, you know, at least our generation.
Well, I think you're hitting on something there where it's like cartoons are not just toy commercials anymore.
Exactly.
It's like so people are actually putting like some thought and some feeling into it.
Well, I think that
it shows.
I think that a lot of it is that, and I mean I have nothing to back this up, but I just feel like there's so much noise now, and parents have to sort through the noise.
Sure.
To know if you're, I mean, obviously as a parent you can make the decision to like not be as invested in your kid's life, but like if you're actually wanting to be invested in your child's life and you want to be, you know, a good parent and make sure that they're watching the right things and seeing the right things, there's so much. You don't have enough time to figure out what thing your kid can see. If you see something that you think is really interesting and cool, you're gonna make your kid is going to be more likely to be able to see that thing. And I think that people are picking up on that. Is that if you make entertainment that is either, you know, kind of like what Walt Disney was trying to do, something that the whole family can enjoy and that you really can enjoy as an adult, it makes more money.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you've got another set of input and another set of like consumer decisions. It's not just the kid going, I want this thing.
Your demographic widens.
Yeah, it's the kid going, I want this thing, and a parent going, yeah, you can have the thing because it's really cool. Do you want a second one? You know?
Sure. In fact, I'm going to buy a set 2 for myself.
Yeah.
Especially like in our generation, we're what, the tail end of Generation X?
No, I think
Millennials.
we're the vanguard of the millennials actually.
Yeah.
Generation X was a little bit before us.
Oh, yeah, I guess that would be more like, what, 40s? They're in the 40s now?
What's
No.
Generation
it?
X?
Generation X is like 1980. Like it ended right around.
Well, here's
right before I was born.
Yeah, we're
basically.
either the very, very last little part of, I mean, all of you, because I'm much younger. No, I would consider myself to be, I always thought that what I was just barely still Generation X, but then once they've kind of come up with this millennial
and that's
tagline,
they're coming
it's
up
like,
with it.
it's like, okay, but no, that really fits me more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I definitely fit more in that category.
Why? We're just
Yeah.
we're like not in the middle of the Y by any.
Sure.
any
I mean,
stretch.
so why is after like so?
Y is like 1981, maybe the end of 1980 through.
Well, I mean,
technically it's still Y, but
is Gen Y
is
and the millennial thing like is that the same?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that, I think that that's
Okay.
pretty
But
pretty
I
much
think the
overlapping.
difference is, though, like, we can still identify with X quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
I
being
really-
at the kind of tail end.
There was an article, and I wish I could give props to whoever wrote it, but I don't remember who wrote it off the top of my head. But they referred to people who are currently in their like 30 to 35 range as being the Oregon Trail generation.
Yes.
And it's like, no, that's perfect. You know, we're really in a lot of ways.
Most of you die trying to get to point A to point B.
Well, I mean, all of us have had dysentery, obviously.
You played the game.
Yeah,
in school.
And that we're in this weird position now because we're sort of the last chunk of generation that remembers what it was like to grow up without technology.
Exactly.
Or without a lot of technology, but we have also now lived with that technology more than half our lives. So it's like we remember what it was like when you we know how to read maps, but we know how to use Google Maps.
Yeah.
And we remember encyclopedias.
Right.
We still know how to use Google.
Yeah, but that's actually like kind of weird that
it is a weird kind of thing.
Yeah, that like people who are even a little bit younger than us don't remember being lost.
I just talked about the VHS tapes. I know that you probably talk to little kids, not little kids, but even teenagers now go, you know what this is? They're like, no.
Yeah.
Well, man, like I've never been more just like I guess depressed about my age than watching like those kids react videos.
Oh, Kids React, Fine Brothers.
Yeah.
That's little plug there, Fine Brothers. We love your stuff.
I remember seeing one of those where
the Lockman?
No, it wasn't that one. There was very specifically one where they were watching DuckTales.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah,
Oh,
DuckTales.
yeah.
That's a great cartoon from my childhood. And one of the kids asked, like, when was this made? And they said, oh, like the 90s. And the kid was like, I thought everything was black and white in the 90s. Like, fuck you, child.
And that, I mean, that's what it is. I guess at least we can be thankful we appreciate, at least some of the things that the previous generation, were instilled upon, like hard work, respect, stuff like that. These little,
I don't appreciate
these little kids today. But actually, that's kind of more of a joking thing. But you know what? We can actually, I guess, our generation has the fortunate, position to actually be able to bitch about back in the day. You know what I mean? Like to some of these kids.
350 stove. I went to school and barefoot. And
I mean, you don't even have to lie.
You
don't
know,
have to lie.
our generation, like when we were born, we were still able to walk to school.
That's true.
Like,
Well,
I don't. Parents today seem like absolutely crazy, and I'm not a parent, but I probably wouldn't let my child walk to school. Even if it is right across the street, I'm not gonna let my child go alone. Kids can't do that.
I have to have an
They
adult
can't
with
play
me.
outside.
You have to have an adult with you
being
all
out
the time.
there.
It's weird. You
Yeah.
like reach for my hand, and I'm like, hey man, you're a grown adult.
I get scared.
You can do this.
I get scared.
But so that's an interesting topic that we totally diverge from cons on.
Hey, whatever.
It's
Well,
fun.
but no, actually,
What got us on this?
huh?
What got us on this?
Talking about cartoons, but actually no, I can actually dovetail us back into cons because I've been going to cons since 2000 and have watched the con scene change pretty dramatically, and it's always interesting to me that nothing makes like an anime fan more crotchety than thinking about these old. Like how conventions used to be, and it's like no, they've always been like that. Like the only thing that has really changed is that there's more screaming children. It's just you used to be one of the screaming children, and B, there were like 1,000 to 5,000 less screaming children, than you remember. But like. All of this was the same. There was no like magical.
I will say one thing in response to that, which is I think there's definitely been like a demographic shift since we started coming up in cons, where it used to very much be like kind of an old man thing. Like I primarily remember like thinking back to like the really early Aggie cons and stuff like that we went to. It was much more of like a I'm not like an old dude sort of thing, although there were more of them, but like kind of an older crowd.
Well, it's because they had to have jobs that would allow them to pay for it from places like Suncoast.
Right. There's some of that, but then it's like at some point it switched from being like an old guy thing to being a kid thing.
Yeah, but even back when I remember coming in like late high school, early college, it was still full of dumb kids.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I think that it's lost some prestige. There used to be, the thing that is different is there used to kind of be a feeling, because you couldn't get everything. You know, you had to go to Suncoast and they only had, you know, the one shelf of things, or you had to bootleg import because it wasn't coming over here, and there wasn't the internet really. I mean, there like sort of was, but like it's not like you had the internet in your home, you know, and so you had this weird, like, it was secret in a way.
Sure.
And so I think that you had this idea that it was like secret and special, and you would get stuff that you couldn't get anywhere else, and that was kind of the overall feel. Whereas now it really is kind of like Nerd Spring Break.
Yeah. It is. And it's every year.
But I don't necessarily know if that's like a bad thing, or if it's really gotten any crazier. Like, people always complain about, oh, it's so crazy now, and it's like, no, it was crazy back when I was going.
But you know, I think that you hit on it yesterday, kind of like where people have this feeling is, this was my thing, and it was smaller, and it was, you know, like kind of like, you know, in Austin, you don't have that opportunity to find that rare spot that you only know about. 50 other people know about it. Now it's gotten to that point, and I'm not saying you, but I'm sure people are out there like, I remember back in the day when cons were smaller and, you know, everybody knew each other. Yeah, stuff like that. I'm sure that's where they're coming from.
Yeah.
It's not right, necessarily. It's just probably how they feel.
Well, I wonder about that in some respects. Like, I wonder if that still exists, just in a more, like, compact fashion with the people who make their livings doing cons, like the vendors, the artists, that sort of stuff.
True.
Because the trade-off to, like, some of the growth is that cons happen constantly now.
Sure.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Constantly.
Yeah, but like
They
they're...
happen in Constantinople.
Of course they do. Damn it. Like I think there's a lot more opportunity maybe for like those guys to like come together and all know each other. Like, oh, hey, cool, we'll set up our booths next to each other again next time. That sort of stuff. Which again, I think that mostly may have been impacted pretty heavily by the fact that there is a con going on. Like other than like it slows down for a minute in winter, and then it's just like there's a con.
Yeah,
There's multiple cons.
They're like,
every day,
next week we're gonna
week.
head to Denver, and you know, I mean, they're constantly going where the money is.
Yeah, and there's a lot more small cons. Like, I don't know what it's up to now, but a couple years ago I went to Anime Overload in Austin, and there were maybe 3,000 people there total the whole weekend, including people who only came for a single day.
Oh wow!
Like
that is small.
Maybe that's even.
Were they out of like a Holiday Inn or something like that?
Yeah, it was like one of the Holiday Inn Convention Center kind of things.
Nice. Well, that's how they start.
And it was really nice because it was a lot more kind of like the old days, essentially. Like there wasn't much to do,
True.
to be honest, but there were lots of people doing things.
Sure.
You know, and you didn't quite have the same like crazy big groups of people because you didn't have a lot of people to be in a crazy big group, and everything was just like smaller and more chill, and it reminded me a lot of kind of the old cons.
It's funny that you bring this up. The people that complain maybe aren't as old as, at least I am. I'm not going to say how old you are. But at the same time, like, I kind of appreciate smaller cons because it's not that I get overwhelmed, I just get I mean, sad to say, tired of it all. You know, like these lines, these kids, it's too noisy. I mean, I'm becoming that old guy. So it's kind of like nice to be able to go to a con that's a little more chill. If there's less stuff to do, that means you can spend more time kind of recouping in the room. You know, go to what you want to, skip what you don't. So there's the trade-off.
And I went to. I also went to Haven Con in Austin. That's an LGBT con. They had their last convention last year, or their first convention last year. There we go. And it was at the same Holiday Inn that Anime Overload was at. And I got a room all by myself, to myself, giant room, sofa, everything, really nice, for the same price that I would pay to sardine into the Anatole for A-Con for a week, or for a weekend. And, I had my room all to myself. It was very nice. And I went back up to my room several times and just, like, took a nap. It was lovely. And never had to wait for an elevator. I almost never was in the elevator with another human being all weekend, and there's something to be said for that, as well as something to be said for the big, like, event cons. A-Con's starting to get a little too big for me. I still go every year because it was my first con, and
kind of sad that, like, seems like a lot of my other friends too, like Zach and Becky, I think too, are starting to grow out of A-Con, it seems, and I just started actually going last year. And so it's like the people I go with are like, I'm getting over this, and I'm like, just now like, oh my god, this is what A-Con has been this whole time.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it used to be like this. I can remember add a couple thousand more people here, and that was what A-Con was like.
I think A-Con does need.
Don't
to be
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I remember
bigger venue.
You know how they're talking about how bad.
I think A-Con needs to split off and have A-Con 1 in maybe Texas, and A-Con 2 in maybe like Kansas or something, more centralized.
But I like that idea in theory, I suppose, but that does that actually like shrink the attendance any?
I think so. I think so many people come from the central part of the United States that if you had it in another state, somewhere else, Louisiana, Kansas, anywhere else,
definitely would get everybody
would
from
go
that
to
area.
that one instead.
Well, but they have, there's, Missouri, what is the name of the convention? There's a big convention in Kansas City.
Then give it to New Mexico. I mean, honestly, every state has them.
But the issue is like, A-Con,
I think that was
if you hold it the same weekend to split the crowd, you also have to split your guest pool, and that can be difficult. And if you don't hold it the same weekend,
you're on the risk of people going to both.
Yeah. And people will go to both.
Yes,
it's not a risk. They will.
They will.
Yeah.
But at the same time, not everybody will. You'll get a small chunk of people who will go to both, but I really honestly don't think there will be that many.
Like, you know how bad the elevator situation was at Anatole? Mm-hmm. It was horrible here.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Escalator was horrible. God. But the last year that they had it here,
were non-existent.
Yeah, they all
they turned them off
immediately.
Yeah.
We're turned off immediately.
So like,
wait, an escalator? Like,
here.
What do you do at that point?
You walk up.
You
Just
walk
walking up.
stairs. Staircase.
What? Mind blown.
And it was difficult too, because if you're caught, like, okay, stairs in costume kind of suck, but are okay. An escalator in costume is like a stair with caltrops on the side of it. It is really difficult to walk up an escalator in like a big, like if you're in, like, I've cosplayed Anthony the Rose Bride from Itena. I am stuck on the floor I am on because you've got like giant ball gown poof and you can't see your feet and you're trying to walk up an escalator. Yeah. It's like, no, this is not the same as stairs. Stairs don't try to kill me.
And it was bad. Like, let's say that you were standing in line to get up to your hotel room, like you thought the Anatole was bad. Ooh, man. And we found out that the North Tower, for some odd reason, gets the less traffic in.
It always has.
Yeah,
The North Tower here or the
Yeah.
North
Here.
Tower? Yeah.
But if you're in the central floor, even now, it takes them forever to get up to their room.
Oh, sure.
So, like, you'd be kind of like, oh. But the trade-off on that is the Anatole is such a weird labyrinth-like
Oh my god, yes.
hotel.
It is.
Like, you're looking at a diagram of where you need to be, and you're like, I'm there. And they're like, no, that's on the other side of the building. Go up 2 flights of stairs, take 2 elevators, you're going to have to take a tunnel this way. Find a guy with the golf cart. He's going to take you down a couple of feet to a little Segway. You're going to jump on the Segway, get into a boat, row across the moat,
Gonna ride the magic dog to Candy Planet.
Yeah.
and then you'll be there.
We
And you're
lost
like,
George, didn't we?
you're
Last
literally
time?
like this. Fucking ain't going.
Like-
I was a pan I didn't really care about, but okay.
We left George there, so we just no longer have a friend.
Who?
George. See, we already started forgetting.
Really? We weren't supposed to talk about him.
Oh fuck! Sorry.
Ever.
Sorry. Shh. Who's George? That's what we
Who?
told his family.
Yeah. The dealer room there is a lot bigger, obviously. I mean, really, it just kind of depends. If you're a young cat, oh man, you should have no problem at a con. Staying up late, like getting no sleep. But me,
What?
I'm like, man, I'm tired. My feet hurt.
Alright, my feet hurt too. So no matter how young you are, unless you're like a toddler.
That is one of the few things that I definitely prefer at this hotel to nearly every other convention hotel I've ever gone to. Definitely better than any convention I've been that's a similar size to the conventions that I've been to here. You don't have to walk far here.
No.
Everything's pretty close.
And which helps when you're meeting people. Like last year's A-Con, we've talked about this on the podcast. I lost Willie. I was literally looking
You
at.
always lose.
I was literally looking at three food trucks. And I was like, I just want to see what they have here. And I'm looking at the menu, and all of a sudden I turn around. I'm having a conversation the whole time. Oh no, does the burrito look good, Willie? I mean, I don't know if I want a burrito. It's kind of hot outside. And I look back. I'm like, what do you think, Willie? And fucking somebody else is standing right there. And I'm like, oh, my bad. Look around. Fucking gone. And he was like, oh, I told you I left. I was like, I totally didn't hear it. My bad. And I didn't see him the rest of the week.
I went to see you in the lounge area, and I told him before, and he got onto me later in the elevator or in the hotel room. It's like, you just disappear all the time. I'm like, you just don't listen. I tell you every time I'm about to leave.
He is Unofficial Ninja, and I still, to this day, he's like, I don't know how he does it, but he's like, poof.
Did you ever wonder why you always see smoke before, when you go to look
At
for
that
it?
point, I didn't. I just looked behind, I didn't see anybody. I saw I think it was a guy looking at me weird.
That
I
was
having
me.
a conversation with him.
That was me.
He was like, I'm sorry, dude. But yeah, you were gone. Substitution duty.
I didn't even
Yeah, I was
see
gonna say, I'm picturing you turn around and there's just a log there.
I'm like, damn it.
Says Willie.
Because I didn't technically get the logistics of where you were going.
I didn't
Because
either.
the deal was, I was like, I'm going to show you where the gym is. Because you're like, when you find the gym, you'll find where you guys were at. So I was like, I know where it's at. Because I had a really bad experience at that. That's a funny story in itself, too. And so I was like, I swear, in my mind, I was like, looking at a menu or something, look at the next truck. I looked behind me, and you weren't gone. And I was like, I guess he went to the thing. I don't know. He'll find it, I guess.
I didn't even see half of our crew the entire. We went there with. We went to A-Con with total of 7 of us or whatever, and I didn't see 4 of them until the last day. The night before, I was like, I have not seen you this entire time. What have you been doing? It's like, I didn't know where you were, and then so we finally actually talked for an hour, and then that was probably as much as I saw them the entire con. I think I saw you at the last A-Con more than I saw the people I came with. That's no joke.
Oh, and Hilton Anatole, you really got to do something about your gym. That's some bullshit.
What happened?
So, this goes into the Sven story a little bit. First night, we're staying at the Hilton Anatole for the first year that they have it. And I get up early because I fucking can't sleep we're crowded in a room. This is the same year we got upgraded to the executive suite. That has nothing to do with the gross story on how we had to move. But anyways, I woke up at 4 o'clock, 4:30 something in the morning. I'm just like, I'm tired, but I can't sleep in here. And I look down and Jamie's gone. And you don't know who Jamie is. Jamie's one of our friends. And I'm like, that's weird. Well, I can't go back to sleep. I guess I'm just going to find their gym, work out. Go downstairs to the first, I don't know. I mean, if you have to see it because they're like towers with big long stretches in between towers, and it's a labyrinth in there. And I asked the lady at the front, I'm like, where's your gym? She's like, you're gonna have to go all the way around the building and go out to just follow the building all the way until you see a pool. And when you see the pool, just keep going and you'll see the gym. Well, I run into Jamie and he's doing his, I'm going to be in character the whole time, which was a really bad, was it Russian?
Yeah,
I think he's being Russian.
He was trying a Russian accent, but he was saying he was from Sweden. His name was Sven. And am I wrong?
He was saying he was Russian.
Oh, he was saying he was Russian, but it was
he chose a Swedish name.
His Swedish name. Anyways, make a long story short, it sounded something like this. He was like, "Hello, I am Sven. How are you doing?" And so he had attracted this weird group. Well, they were weird. What the fuck are they doing up at 4 o'clock in the morning? All huddle around in that main area with like where the bar is.
Yeah.
Just that open area, and they're the only ones in there, and I'm all groggy, I got my backpack, gym clothes on, and I'm kind of walking up to him, and I see Jamie, he's like, Zach, and he comes up to me and gives me this look like, don't fuck this up for me. And I'm like, I'm just half asleep, I'm like, what are you doing, Jamie? Spin. I'm like, what? And he's like, hey, let me introduce you to people. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? So I walk over there, and he's like, hello. This is my friend Zach. And I'm looking, they're like, dude, so you know Sven? I'm like, yeah, I do. And they're like, oh man, he's hilarious. We've been talking all night. He's, just kind of tell us about Russian culture and stuff like that. And I give him this look like, what the fuck? And he gives me this look like, kind of like, be cool with it. He didn't break character the whole A-Con. Like, anywhere we went on property to go eat. He was like, oh, this Korean barbecue is very good. I'm like, shit, dude, no one's around. You can cut it. He's like, no, I stay in character. But he had all these people that were like, the whole time, was like, hey, Sven, what's going on? He's like, hey, good to see you.
You do great.
He doesn't do a good one.
You're a better Sven than Sven.
He doesn't do a good one. Well, I mean, it's not bad, but it's obvious. I mean, maybe it's because I know him, but it just sounded so bad to me. Like, I don't know. Anyways, so Sven has been banished. He can't ever come back to any con with us, anyways. So back to the story of the gym.
Oh yeah.
So I got my backpack on, all my gym stuff, and it's fucking 4:30 in the morning, and I'm just kind of like tired, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, Jamie, man, dude, have you even been to sleep? He's like, well, no, I have not slept yet. I have not slept at all. And I'm like, okay, that's great. You have fun. I'm going to go find the gym. He's like, oh, you have fun working out. Go pump some iron. I'm like, oh, God. I got to get away from this. So I finally make my way to the gym.
Which is on the other side of the planet.
Yes, and we were in that first, like when you first come in, we were in that tower.
I still don't know where the gym is in that place.
So I find it, and I walk up to the front, and I'm just like, is this the gym? They're like, yeah, that'll be $16. And I'm like, what? Okay. And they're like, yeah, it's $16. We're not officially a part of the Hilton, because it's like a real gym that you pay membership to. And so I'm just like, so it's not, there's no gym at the Hilton. This is the gym at the Hilton. I go, I'm staying at the Hilton. Does that mean that I pay? It's like, yeah, because you're not a member. I'm like, okay, you know how most hotels have a gym? She's like, yeah. And you don't have to pay for it? You're telling me there's no complimentary gym. She's like, that is correct. There is no complimentary gym.
Wow.
I'm like, this is a really nice hotel. You couldn't have put a fucking treadmill and some free weights in a room?
Right.
Fucking broom closet or something like that? And just like, here's the gym. If you really need to work out, just use it. It's free. Just secondhand weight. Like shit you got at a garage sale. Something. Like a fucking treadmill that barely worked. No.
Rubber bands.
They didn't have anything. Yeah, no. They had the gym. So I'm like, I walked all the way over here. And if you know that walk, I would say that's quarter of a mile.
Oh my God.
Yeah, sure.
That is their gym.
Yeah, the gym is you just walk. Yeah, you just walk the gym.
Well, their gym is outside.
Blow.
You have a running trail or a track kind of thing.
Yeah, there's the track.
And you see people doing calisthenics and shit like that. Well, I wanted to lift some weights. So I go up there and I'm finally just like $16, fine. And I go up and it's a impossibly little gym. Like the gym here is really nice if you've ever been to it. The gym there, it's not great. It's not great, it's small. And you see these old people working out with their personal trainers. And if you know anything about a personal trainer, one, you really need to be careful who you get. Get somebody who's really enthusiastic to work with you. Not some guy who knows he's getting paid to just be like, one more rep, okay. Looking at his phone. Yeah, you're doing great. Yeah. Keep going. Anyway, so it was like that. So I had to work in with people that were kind of doing their thing. And I get done with that, and I'm just like, man, $16 to use a gym. That's some bullshit. Hilton Anatole, fix that. That's the end of my story.
I forgot why you were telling me until the end.
The spin story is way better.
I enjoyed
Trust me,
it. I enjoyed
the spin
it. I'm just
story
saying,
really,
I was like,
really is good.
sitting there trying to process. I was like, why are we? Oh yeah, okay, that's what okay. But no, I enjoyed it, the spin thing, and you really do a good spin.
It sounds like it should be, right?
Maybe you should be the new spin.
You have been spin all along.
Yeah, I'm spin. I'm the Asian Russian.
I think that's a good move for you guys, though, is just someone is inhabited by the spirit of spin from your group every con you go to.
Well, here's the problem with that. We've thought about fucking with him, but if you start doing it, he'll start doing it, and then he'll go, and he'll threaten you in a nice way.
Sure.
We love you, Jamie, but he'll be like, Spin might come back, and we're like, no, Spin won't.
And I'm sitting there because I guess I'm the ass of the group sometimes, and I'm like, I want Spin. And they're like, Willie, shut up. I'm like,
What you have to be really careful with about that, though, is that, sometimes Sven, whoever your Sven is, sometimes that's, cooler than who you
That's not good, yeah.
Well, that's not Jamie, because Jamie's way cooler than Sven.
Yeah, well, but like I'm saying, that's the hazard of making a Sven.
Oh, that's probably that one girl who came oh my God, I started almost trying to go into an accident on accident. That one girl
who came by, gave me a hug, would not leave.
The girl, not that one. The girl who came in, she was dressed as an assassin from Assassin's Creed, and she came and sat over there with all of us and was saying that she was from Russia.
There was another one.
She's redheaded and stuff.
Oh yeah, but she was that was Sven's part two on somebody else.
And so that,
and we were just like,
it's don't. That's what I was singing praise, kind of
Well, the deal is nobody called Jamie's bullshit, and I'm that kind of asshole that'd be like, from Russia, huh? Where in Russia? Start throwing, because we did that to her, and she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I do not understand. I do not. She did a spin essentially. She's like, I do not understand.
Yeah,
what
but
we're
she
saying.
admitted it.
Well, I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious. And we were just like, oh, I feel bad. And Jamie kind of was like, I feel for her. I'm like, you fucking did it! No, we all felt for you. We were like, oh, bless his heart.
And then we robbed her. Memories.
She wasn't a very good assassin.
She wasn't. I was, though. Body hiding.
And then we killed and ate her.
Oh, memories of
anymore.
cons. Oh my.
Memories of
cons.
cons. We've had some good ones. We've had some really good ones, and we've had some really, really bad ones. I mean,
I haven't been to, I guess I've been to one con prior to meeting y'all, and A-Con's what basically switched me into con mode to where I actually enjoy cons a lot. Mm-hmm. I went to Tokyo and Tulsa, was the very first con I ever went with. I went with one of my friends who I used to work with at Radio Shack, and it's not as big as these cons are or whatever, but it was really fun and stuff, but then I just never went back to any, and then I decided to go to A-Kon, and I'm shy, and especially around people I don't know. And so I almost didn't come because I was like, I don't want to be around all these people that I don't know and stuff. But Julius was like, or Jules, Fada, and Alexander was like, Willie, just go ahead and stuff. And I ended up having the time
And
off.
look at what happened.
Yeah.
Nerdgasm was born.
I got a brother, a little smaller.
You son of a bitch! That's a weird thing that we do. I don't know why.
That was a weird thing that you guys did.
Just out of nowhere, it happens.
It's for Predator, though.
Oh, I see. I get it. All right.
You one ugly son of a bitch. Oh no, he says motherfucker. But no, I mean, I think our best cons were the smaller ones. When A-Kon we first started going to, I can't remember exactly. Really close to the time that you started going, because I think we were like 2002 maybe.
Yeah.
Or at least they just gotten here.
Yeah, I think that 2003
It might have been 3.
was the first year at the Adams Mark.
Oh, that's right. It's that.
Which I mean, it was.
But this
here.
brings back so many memories being at this con, because the Anatole, it's so big, it's its own little compound. Whereas this is a little more accessible. Like, if you're at the Anatole and you don't want to eat their food trucks, you are leaving, or you're going to medieval times. That's about it. Like,
Yeah,
I know that
there's
you
not-
can still here in downtown Dallas walk around to some places around
Or
here.
use the dart.
I did actually find some places over in the Anatole area that were pretty edible last
Good.
time. What was the name of the damn bar that I went to? There was like a bar and burger place called Rodeo Goat. There was
That you
like it turned
walked
to, yeah, like it turned out to
Weird.
be it turned out to be pretty good, and it really was like right there.
I want to go
So,
next year.
yeah.
I missed Rodeo Goat.
Recommended congoers, go to Rodeo Goat. Show 'em
No,
love.
don't go to Rodeo Goat
Oh,
because
yeah.
there'll be too many people
Oh,
at
yeah,
Rodeo
okay.
Goat.
Edit this
Stay
out.
away. They use people.
Yeah, it's actual goats. You don't want to go there.
It's run not like the burgers are goats. It's run by goats.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Your waiter is a goat.
Sir, there's something wrong with my burger. No,
It's very progressive. It's about time we found jobs for goats.
Yeah,
Right.
sir, stop
I
eating
kind of
my
wanted
tip.
it medium rare, but no, I don't need bacon.
You get headbutted.
Yeah. your waiter just stands there and eats a can
Yeah.
while staring at you.
Do you
Oh
take,
my god, I want this restaurant to exist.
do you take cans as tip?
Yeah, they will. Of course they will.
Oh my, I wish.
Sir, I'd really appreciate it if you stopped eating my napkin. I need it.
Oh, speaking of businesses that need to exist, did you know that you've missed the boat.
Damn it.
They
Or
make
what?
they
Which
make
of my brilliant ideas have already
they
happened.
make delivery alcohol now.
Yeah, I saw that.
We were talking about that last night.
We got a
We
car.
have a car
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, we had this idea like 2 years ago, and nobody actually turned it into a business.
Yeah.
So
Well, somebody did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was in an
somebody else did.
elevator last night, and someone was like, "Hey, are the people that you're with over 21?" I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Are y'all drinking?" I was like, "Not yet." And he's like, "Here's a card," and it was like a delivery service for liquor.
Yeah. What do they call it?
I don't know. The card's right there
Andrews.
by you by the TV.
Which kind of
Oh,
makes
yeah.
me wonder.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it cold? Bring it cold.
Yeah. No, I think I still think there could be some room in that industry.
No, the real thing is,
Oh.
with
Thank
every
you.
12 pack, we throw in a bag of Doritos.
Wait, that's the weed delivery, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that we had that as part of that conversation too.
Yeah,
but-
where it's like, yeah, you'd have to, deliver like Taco Bell and Doritos.
Not even that. Like, get serious about it. Like, just have like some snacks, and then if you want to do like tacos, just like you probably whip up some cheap tacos.
Yeah, but I don't think. Okay, so not that I've ever in my life done anything illegal, but generally speaking, I don't think that it's like, hey man, do you want to get some tacos? Someone is like, oh man, Taco Bell.
That's fair.
Fuck, we
That's
gotta go
fair.
to Taco Bell. Like,
Zach. That's normally Zach. Like, oh my god, I can fucking go for Bueno right now. Willie, are you cool with that? I'm like, whatever, man. What the fuck do you want?
yeah.
What happened?
I'm just saying that you're more specific.
Like we're talking about like after drinking and stuff
She
like that.
just said that she doesn't think anybody ever has a conversation that says, "Oh man, I could really go for some tacos right now."
No, she's saying there's more of like a specific thing.
Yeah,
like,
you have the conversation that's like, "Oh man, Taco Bell," or like, "Oh man, Taco Bueno," or "Oh man, I almost said
Any food,
In-N-Out,
Whataburger.
Del Taco," or something like that. Like the conversation's more specific because
for like a drunk.
yeah.
Have you
because-
met Zach? Romeo 313? Like like every place you just listed, we've talked about today.
Yeah, well, that's exactly my point. That's my point.
I am the demographic, is what she's saying.
Yes, I know.
So it's like, hey, it's been a hard night drinking. Some vodka or some Jaeger and stuff like that.
I'm saying like, okay, so you've spent all night drinking and you want tacos. Do you want tacos or do you want a specific taco?
I want, generally, when I've been drinking, because I'm not, A, going to remember how good they are, and B, probably regret my stomach anyways the next morning, I want Taco Bell.
You're right. There you
Because,
go.
I'll tell you what, Taco
can see the
Bueno is
point.
too good. Taco Bueno is too
I
good
don't want to disrespect
to ruin on a drunk stomach.
Disrespect Taco Bell, no.
McDonald's would probably fit in that category of shit that you would eat just because you're drunk and you just need carbs. Whataburger is that weird kind of, I would say like daywalker, the daywalker of the fast food food cycle. And that means that I want it when I'm drunk, and it's gonna be good, and I want it when I'm sober.
Yeah.
But generally, Taco Bell, for some odd reason, the mixture of their quote unquote meat and seasonings are so like strong and like, because everything, if you ever think about it, and they've said this before, like all Taco Bell tastes the same because it's literally the same shit, just in different proportions and ingredients. So like it really doesn't matter. Like a taco, and it doesn't really matter what you're eating anyways, because when you're super drunk, you're like, this is so good, why don't I eat this on a regular basis? Because the next morning you're going to wake up and your stomach is going to hurt quite a bit, generally speaking. So, yes, I totally see that demographic. Or I fit the demographic, too.
You see that demographic all the time when you're out there with that demographic at Taco Bell.
But, I mean, like I said, Whataburger is the only one that I'm like, huh.
See, Whataburger for me is my morning hangover. Like I drank too much last night. I'm not sick this morning, but I'm like right on that like borderline where like I'm not right.
So you're.
Let's go to Whataburger.
Yeah, but you're in that. You said kind of the magic word of not feeling like shit so much. Whereas Taco Bell,
right?
I have so many not fond memories of waking up and going, God, my head hurts, my stomach hurts, and I have burp, and I'm like, oh, what was that? Oh fuck, I ate Taco Bell last night. Par for the course.
Yeah.
Thanks, past me.
Yeah.
I know this is not con related, and we've already kind of jumped that boat anyway, or whatever.
I have
Might
a
need
really
to
good
split.
con story to share before we.
We might need to split this up into two, but that's
because I kind of want to give a really good, like, I can handle my alcohol like really well, but like back in the day, when I didn't drink but maybe once every like 6 months, if that or whatever, I had went over to my manager's house at the time when I worked at Radio Shack, because we got along really well and stuff, because I was a hard worker and he liked me, and like I hadn't eaten anything that entire day. And I go over there, and I don't like drinking beer, really. I drink liquor. And so I get over there, and he has his neighbors and stuff over at his house. We're in the garage just talking to stuff, and they're all drinking beer. And like, you want one? I'm like, no, I only drink liquor whenever I do drink and stuff. And they're like, all right. His neighbor's like, I have a bottle of vodka over there. If you drink it all, you don't owe me anything for it. And like, I'm cheap. In a way too, like I didn't think it was a challenge, but I just took him serious. Like, well, I don't want to end up paying him for a bottle of vodka, so I guess. And like, empty stomach, that was like a full bottle of vodka, and I took it all the way down, like to the about maybe 2 shots left of the bottle, and I'm the only one who was drinking the entire bottle, and so I remember parts that night, like where one of the neighbors is called Don, and I kept calling him Dan, and I was like, Dan, they're like, it's Don. I was like, Don, Dan, Don, whatever, the nigga's my nigga. Like, I said that to them. What? I'm like, it doesn't matter.
So you're basically saying, and I kind of already know that. I've seen Willie super plastered. You get more street when you drink?
Yes, that does come out. And so like that happened, and like they were like, "Dude, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm cool." Next thing I remember is being in the bathroom, and my manager friend was like, "Willie, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I think I had kind of fell asleep in there or something. He's like, because apparently I had thrown up or in his garage area, and so he had to clean that. He's like, "Willie, take a shower or something, or clean yourself up." And I remember I just like started splashing water on my face from his tub and stuff. It was from his shower or whatever. and then the next thing I remember is like I filled in the blank since then, but the next thing I like remember is waking up and like, oh my god, that was the best sleep ever. And like looking and like, this ceiling does not look familiar to me, and I'm like, this does not seem to be my apartment. And then I'm like looking, and I look over and I see like on the mantle like the pictures of like him and his wife and kids and stuff, and I'm like, and then I lift up the covers because I'm on this couch and I lift up the covers and I'm like, why am I naked? and then so I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I'm trying to recap, and like no one's in the house at all because his wife and kids are like away for like the weekend or something. And so I call him. He had to work or something. I call him. I'm like, hey yo, why am I naked? He's like, because you had thrown up and it got on your shirt and stuff too, and so I had to wash it and stuff. And I'm like, did you rape me? And he was like, what? I was like, it's okay. I just need to know, did you rape me? He was like, what are you talking about?
Are you butt naked?
Yes. And I was like, dude, I grew up in a town where if you, like, you get raped and you fall asleep naked or something. I was like, because like that was going back to my high school where they were telling me they wanted to see my penis so much, and one person told me too that if I ever got drunk and fell asleep next to it, they're going to look at my penis or something. It was weird. That goes into another story. That goes into another story. But so yeah, I'm like thinking back to high school, and I'm like, did you? And he's like, no, and I was like, but you looked at my penis, didn't you? And he's like, what? He's like, what are you talking about? I was like,
it's okay.
I was like, yeah, it's like, it's okay. He looked at my penis, right? He's like, what?
It's just what people do.
I know. Like, I'm thinking that's normal. He's like, no. I'm like,
Willie, you might want to like throw shit past people, like of all the weird things that you think is normal, just to double check.
Yeah.
Because it's like, like call and ask someone else, like, hey, I'm naked at my boss's house.
True or false? He looked at my penis.
And so, yeah, seriously, he was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, okay, are you sure? And so, like, yeah, so I didn't. He was like, no, and I was like, all right, you're a good guy, I trust you. And so, like, I was like, well, where are my clothes? And he's like, well, they're in the dryer. And so, yeah, I go put those on and stuff too, and I started piecing together the rest of the night. And yeah, like it was an interesting night. Yeah, so that's
I think
like
you probably didn't get invited back to a whole lot more.
Yeah, I was like, hey man.
No, he like no, we're still friends and stuff too. Like I helped him out. Like he was going through some times and stuff, and he actually technically lives in my house right now. He's down here in Texas actually for work, but yeah, like he stays with me. Like I have let him have some stuff in my house and stuff too. So now, like, I build really weird relationships with my managers and stuff because I don't know, like, I guess I don't know boundaries in a way, like, in terms of...
That sounds entirely possible.
Like, I'm happy-go-lucky in a way and, like, weird and stuff, and I have, a weird filter and stuff. Like, if I think it's just weird and it's not bad, but it's just, like, crazy and weird, that's just how it is. Like, even customers that I help right now, like their feedback and stuff to like their positive reactions and stuff like that is like the noises he makes while he's helping me they just make me happy and calm and so I'm just like while I'm like sitting there typing in like information about the accident or something like that happened. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm making noises like, no, it's so nice. And so I'm like, all right. Like that's my normal thing. And so yeah, so I have I'm friends with pretty much all my previous managers and stuff like that too. But yeah, that has to be my drunks like worst story about drinking. But
see, that's a pretty good one. Yeah.
But now I can pretty much drink 100 proof and be okay.
So I'm gonna bring it back to cons.
Con.
This is not the con story that I have to tell, but drinking at cons.
Getting really echoey in here.
Yeah. That was weird. So, and Philip, you may need to assist me in telling this story. So, there's this one con that I think it was an A-con, but it was when it was still in this hotel, and we decided that the only way that we could possibly survive going down late at night into like rave territory was if we drank first. And we'd been drinking a little bit. We used to play when they used to pipe the cosplay competition up into the rooms on the TV.
Yeah, that was good.
Which I don't think they do anymore. At least they don't do it at A-Con at the Anatole, I don't think.
They do.
They do? I wasn't able to find it like any of the years that we've been there, but the we would like play drinking games while the cosplay was going on, and then we would go downstairs with everybody else because a couple of drinks in all of us put us at about the same level as all of the screaming sober children. And so we'd been drinking and we did like one last shot before we went. And I don't remember what I was cosplaying as, but I was cosplaying as something where I had a lot of eye makeup. It may have been my Vincent cosplay. I think I only had the one hand. there was some reason I couldn't use my other hand. And
Zach has a reason why he can't use both. Oh, never mind. Sorry, continue.
And so we get on the elevator, and of course it takes us a while to get on the elevator. And as we're going down the elevator, part of my eye like itches on the side, and so I just kind of do like that, like just the tiniest little bit, and just along the edge of my eye. And about 15 solid seconds later, I realize I've made a mistake. I'm not sure what the mistake is or why the mistake has happened, but I've made a mistake and my eye is on fire. Like it feels like it is boiling out of my skull to the point where I actually turned to, I think Philip was the one in the elevator. I remember that we got split, but and I'm like, is my eye still there? Like I feel like I can still see, but maybe it's phantom limb. Like it hurt. It burned so bad. And so I'm like, no, we have to go back up to the room. Like, and at first I was like, I'll just go downstairs and fix it. And we keep going down. And I'm like, no, I gotta go back to the room. Like, you can't just go downstairs and fix it. I don't know what's wrong. And so we finally get back up to the room, and I like have to like wipe my eye makeup off that eye and rinse the eye, and like finally. Like, I think I maybe even lost my contact from that eye or something. And so everything's finally fine. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what the fuck that was. And I'm like putting my eye makeup back on and we get ready to go again. And I look over and I'm like, oh man, that really, harshed my buzz. And I go over and I'm like, oh, I should have another shot of whiskey. And when I pick up my previous shot glass, it's wet a little on the outside. And that is the story of when I put whiskey in my eye at A-Con.
I thought that's how you drink it, though.
Just like right in my eye. And I did have another shot of whiskey and did not touch my eye, and we went downstairs and had a good time. But the whiskey in my eye
I don't think I've ever gotten whiskey in my eye at a con or otherwise so far. Still managing to avoid that one.
That's just how you like pass a breathalyzer. So you
right.
Just take it in the eye.
Just take it right in the eye. Oh, we should introduce everybody to Cowboy Killers.
Wait.
amazing drinking stories from cons.
Cowboy killers.
But I don't think I do. Like,
Well, but now you have to. Now I have to set you up.
now I
see?
have to talk about cowboy
Now
killers.
you have to tell. You have to tell them what the cowboy killer
Yeah,
is.
that was a thing that one of my old groups of friends, like, I won't say that we got into them, but we were so enchanted by this concept, which was a thing that I think came up from like a Penny Arcade news post like 15 years ago, where they were doing. So it's a shot of tequila that you do the shot.
Before you do the shot, you put a rubber band around.
Yeah, you
your
put a
head,
rubber band on.
so it comes across your forehead.
Yeah, you put a rubber band on your forehead, like the biggest, strongest rubber band you can manage. So you do a shot of tequila, you squeeze limes into each of your eyes, and then you pull the rubber band back as far as it can go and snap yourself in the forehead.
I thought you also maybe like snorted the salt. You did something
No.
weird with the salt.
No,
too,
there's no salt.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just the
Because you're
because
stupid.
it's there.
Yeah. but there was actually a video.
Several
like,
of my friends did do that, including my friend Daniel, who was basically like knocked on his ass by the rubber band, and then the video cut to him the next morning where he still had like the red mark on his forehead from the rubber band.
Yeah, no, but the only reason to do that is that like you're a bunch of dudes drinking. I mean, that's a dude drinking thing to do. Like, you know, like what's the craziest shot we can think of? Well, how about you do a shot of tequila, but you put it in your eyes?
I'll put this thumb up your ass while you take this drink.
Exactly. So yeah, but yeah, I don't have any really just like hardcore drinking at cons sorts of stories.
Ooh, I got a good one.
Okay, your turn.
So, we were in Dallas, but we weren't at an A-Con or anything like that. We were at Dallas Fan Days, which is the subset of Comic-Con. And I was helping a friend who has a DeLorean time machine. He makes them. In fact, the one that Seth MacFarlane owns, he made. And my other friend who we're all friends, has a Jurassic Park Jeep. So their deal is they get to come to the con, showcase their vehicle, and basically either make money off of it by having people sit in it, or B, just show it off and, you know, stand around it. But you don't want to leave that unprotected. You know, you kind of want to sit around that vehicle. So he's like, hey, do you mind coming out and helping? All you have to do is either A, if you're going to work with Gary, it's $5 to sit in the car, take a picture, blah, 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 collect money, or over with Adam, walk around and talk to Adam, essentially. So we get there, and they're like, are all these vehicles drained of their gasoline? Because you can't, I guess, have a vehicle with gasoline inside of the con area. And they're like, no. And they're like, well, you're going to have to drain it. So you could either A, just kind of run it around until it's out, or siphon the gas out. So in order to do that, Gary had to go get some stuff. So the first day we parked in the parking garage in the middle of the summer. So my bright idea was like, fuck it, let's have some fun with it. If we're going to be in the parking garage where people are lined up waiting to go inside, let's just drink. And they're like, sounds like a great idea. What do you want to do? Screwdrivers? What I'll do is I'll get a couple things of like Simply Orange, big bottle of vodka. We'll make 2 giant screwdrivers. We had those finished in about 30 minutes.
Wow.
And we were like, fuck, it's hot, we're thirsty, let's go get some more. So we made another one. So before we could even get the vehicles inside at the end of the day, we'd already gone through quite a bit of screwdrivers. And as we're pulling the car up to put it inside where it's going to be showcased, out walks John Barrowman. And I love John Barrowman. I love Doctor Who. Great actor. I've never really seen Arrow, but people that love John Barrowman love Arrow too. And he comes out and he's talking to us about the vehicle, and I'm like, oh, such a such a pleasure to meet you, sir. And I'm sure it came out like, I love your work. You know, and he was just like, thank you, I appreciate that. Well, Adam, who owned the Jurassic Park vehicle, when we were all over there, was like, what are you from? And he goes, he kind of looked shocked, and he's a nice guy. He didn't mean it seriously, sort of. And he was like, well, fuck you, because we asked him to take a picture with us in the vehicle. And he says, the only way I'm going to get with you, or get in a picture with you guys now, is if you're all butt naked in there with me. And I'm like, and I started to take my pants down, and he just starts to laugh, and he's like, we'll see you about it later. And he walks off, and I'm just like, Adam, you son of a bitch. And this is kind of a bad story because Becky was there, and she loves John
Except
Barrowman.
Becky wasn't there.
Well, she was
Becky was back at the hotel where she insists somebody told her to go.
Okay. Anyways, so, yeah.
Hey, did y'all sense that moment of marriage?
It wasn't Zach who told me to go.
So, anyways, yeah, we missed an opportunity to get a photo op with John Barrowman inside the Jurassic Park
But
Jeep.
you did almost take your pants off for John.
I think it was
Barrowman.
almost
Very
all the way
close.
down when, like, literally, I had it down essentially.
He told me I was the only one he wanted to see.
But so you know, well, at least I got to shake his hand and talk to him for a minute. And so we go back to Aloft, which is where we were staying at the convention, is in Irvine. And we got out of the bar because we still felt like we hadn't drank enough, and proceeded to sit down. And this lovely Englishman was there, and he was drinking. He was talking to us. Turns out to be Simon Beasley. He's a very famous artist who drew Lobo.
Drawn a lot of stuff. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Rebecca?
And we get
Rebecca
fucking
Lobo?
shit-faced together. Like,
Badass.
he is such a cool guy. Like, my dumb drunk ass was just like, I know that you guys love to drink, go to your pubs and stuff like that, but there's a brew here in Texas that's really fucking good. It's cheap. It's called Ziegenbach. And so he was like, and it's on tap here. He was like, well, just get a point. So we all get, you know, our drinks and stuff like that, and that's about all I remember of the night. Other than the fact that, at some point, our other friend Chris, who was there, had to be picked up and taken up to the room. They kicked us out of the bar, essentially. At some point, I decided to take care of everybody's tab. And, like, the only reason I knew about it was because the next day, people were like, hey, thanks for the drink, man. Thanks for the drink. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I go check my debit card. Like, it was like $100 and something tab.
Oh, that's way. That's
was-
not as bad as
It's not as bad.
Yeah,
Well,
I was expecting way
keep
worse.
in mind, it's a hotel bar and there weren't that many people in it.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm sure that was a bunch of rounds because I think we're all drinking Ziegenbach. So, we're like, and John, like, tapped too. And so, Simon's really cool and he's fine the next day. And he's just like, are you blokes okay? And we're like, no. And he's like, well, no shit. It was like, you guys were fucked. Like, we were drinking for America. We were drinking for, like, it was insane. To the point where all the con people knew us pretty well. Like, they were like, your picture's all over, like, the con page, like, licking nipples, like, about to or something like that. Like, you know, I mean, it was just like, you kind of pieced it back together, and it was a little embarrassing, but like, you guys are crazy. We need to have you guys out here more often. We're like, ugh, I just don't feel like talking about it.
Yeah, except the people running the con
Yeah,
were
they
not
were-
like, we need to have you out here more often. They were like, who's sober around here? Ma'am, are you with them? You need to inform them that they can't come back to the bar. And, because Chris kept falling down. He couldn't stand up.
Jesus.
And, I mean, they were basically like, there's a chance you guys can't come back at all. You know, we've got a problem with this. So it was like, I don't know them. Like, I didn't know what else to do. And then I went and told someone who was sober, who was with them, who was...
It had to be Adam. Adam was the most
it was
sober.
Adam.
But I was sober enough to actually hoist up Chris with him.
Yeah.
So,
Really?
yeah, Chris was a shit show.
I'm surprised you even remember this. Like, you don't remember anything after you drink.
I don't.
I know.
Remember? I told you. I don't.
I know.
That was about the most that I remembered.
I know.
So, yeah, and then the rest of the weekend we were just talking to people that, you know, B-list celebrities, a couple A in there. Like Robert Patrick, you see him and you're like, you were great as a T-1000. And he's like, sounds like he chain smokes like 15 packs a day. He's like, the DeLorean you got there. And I'm like, god damn, what the hell happened to you, man? You went from, have you seen this boy, to, that DeLorean looks really great, man. And you're like, oh man. Michael Rosenbaum was real nice, but his agent wasn't.
Who's Michael Rosenbach?
Rosenbaum?
Well,
Played Lex in
Luthor
Smallville.
in Smallville.
oh, okay. I don't know names that well.
At the other cons, we've met all the Firefly people and stuff like that.
I've never seen that
It's
episode.
pretty nice.
I haven't seen it at all.
That's
Huh?
what-
No,
it's-
I
there's
know
so-
of it, but I've
there's
never
so
seen
few
the
episodes. Just watch it and watch the movie. But anyways, that's a pretty good con story. But you have one.
I have a dirty con story.
Oh, here we go.
Even better.
I was gonna say, Philip knows this story because he was there,
Probably,
but not
yeah.
like that. Okay, so this is my like weird. I don't know. This is like my dirty con story and my like stupid fanboy con story and my like getting mansplained something, but only like in reverse con story, like all rolled into one. So we're standing at the hentai booth. This is how the story starts.
Every good story starts.
At the hentai booth. And they had this particular hentai booth thing had all the different hentai manga and the hentai DVDs, and then they had like the ball jointed dolls, but the ones with the like huge boobs for them
I remember that.
and stuff like that. And then they also had like some like actual sex toy stuff, like the Tengas didn't exist at that point, but that kind of thing, whatever this fleshlights, like that kind of
Flashlight.
that kind of stuff. And then they had this like box of miscellaneous stuff, and the other thing I remember being in the box was like bondage rope, the stuff to do shibari, is that what it's called? Anyway, the crazy like bondage rope Japanese stuff. But there's also this like white box, and I'm like, I'm gonna open the box. And so I do. And what is in the box is a medical grade speculum. And my face goes, I don't even know what
Like,
expression I made, just like,
yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
And the guy comes over, and so like I start this story appropriately shocked to have found this. But then this guy comes over, and even at the time, and this was a number of years ago.
Yeah, this has been a while.
But even at the time, I feel like I'm old enough to be this kid's grandmother. like he's this young kind of twerp kid. I'm gonna tell this story, and this young little twerp kid is gonna end up being like hot and like runs a remember this
listener.
story. Yeah, exactly, and he's gonna hear this.
He knocks on the door.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Heard you was talking shit like I wouldn't find out.
Yeah. But so this kid essentially comes over to me, who's working at the booth, and is like, "Oh, you're looking at that," and kind of has that tone. It's like, "Do you even know what that is?" Yes.
I'm a lot more familiar
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. But just that tone, just that like, do you even know what that is? That like,
Bro,
are
do
you
you even speculum?
Yeah, it was this very like, bro, do you even lift? Like, do you know what this crazy thing is? And I just look at him.
He probably doesn't even know what it's used for beyond what he thinks.
Yeah, well, and I look at him and I'm like, yeah. Just like that. And he's like, oh yeah, what is it? It's a speculum. and his eyes got really wide and he was like, yeah, it is. Like, yeah. And then he gives me this look like I am the kinkiest person on the face of the planet for knowing what this thing is. Like, oh, like you're one of those. I'm like, yeah, I'm one of those women over 18 years old that is in good health. Like, what do you want from me? Like, I've been to the doctor.
Amazing.
Like, and so we like left, and I remember turning to Philip and being like, do you know what a speculum is? And you being like, don't you?
Theoretically.
Like, kind of? Like, when, you know? It was like,
Kind of like a tire winch.
Oh,
We need to do some inspecting.
the whole thing was just funny because I know that I was so shocked to see it to start with, because it just would not have occurred to me that it would be in a sex toy box. And like, of course, as soon as I thought about it, it was like, well, okay, that makes sense. But, oh, no, I forgot. I'm sorry. I missed like a teensy part of the back and forth, which was he said, what is it? And I'm like, it's a speculum. And he's like, do you know what it's used for? Yeah, it's like, and then it was one of those things where it's like, this conversation has gotten real awkward. I'm like, yeah, it like spreads things apart. You use it to, and like I got as far as like you use it to, and he's like, oh, you like, oh, that was when you.
I was like, I'd have been like, yeah, you little pap smear. He's like, oh, wow, she cut me down. No, asshole, you really don't know what it's used for.
Like you have never known the touch of a woman. Like, it's like, do you not have? Oh,
It's like that
Mom,
single tear forms. It's like,
sisters?
I haven't.
You're right.
God,
anyway, that is probably my favorite con story.
that's funny.
That was what, UshiCon at one of the years it was at the Renaissance? It seems
Yeah,
like.
maybe it would have been back. I mean, it was in college days.
Yeah.
And it wasn't here. So it was either the Acon that was back at the Hyatt, or in fact, I think it was the Acon that was back, the horrible Acon that was back at the Hyatt Hotel.
Maybe so.
That was super overcrowded. But I would also believe UshiCon at the Renaissance. That, which was also a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
So I want to give a shout out to Mary Grace Blaylock. She's actually here at the con too, and she's one of our followers on Nerdgasm.
Oh, nice.
She like just finished the Ian Sinclair meet Ian Sinclair and stuff. She posted on one of the pictures we posted. So just want to go ahead and give her a shout out, since like we hardly ever have people who follow us on Nerdgasm actually at the same con with us. So
Should have invited her to the podcast.
I didn't know about that, and plus I don't know
Yeah.
if she's actually have legal age to be
Oh, that's
on
true. That is very true.
these type of podcasts.
Back to the whole Weedy should have talked about the.
Yeah, I don't want to catch a case
Ooh.
again, God.
So do we have anything else we want to talk about before I go into Dragons and Flagons?
Nope, I'm good. All clear here.
All right, so Nerdgasm fans, our friends in Oklahoma City are starting a Kickstarter. They've already started, essentially, to bring a tabletop tavern to Oklahoma City. They want to start it. It's going to be called Dragons and Flagons. Now, essentially, this is going to be a kind of a restaurant / tabletop gaming, I would say, venue where you can come, you know, eat food, drink, tabletop till they close, essentially. Now, there's different levels and stuff that you can buy in on the Kickstarter to back it, but what would be the easiest way to, let's see, I would say just, search Kickstarter for Dragons and Flagons Tabletop Tavern.
Yeah, that'd be pretty easy.
That's probably the easiest way to find them if you feel so inclined. If you live in the Oklahoma City area, or even if you don't, or live close and possibly want to visit a place like that, there are personal friends. We will probably be involved on some level as far as doing, you know, some podcasts out of there if it ever gets funded. A lot of cool opportunities at the very least. So if you do, check out Dragons and Flagons on Kickstarter.
Flagons, Flagon.
Flagons. So
Flungins.
but it's going to be a tabletop tavern, essentially. And we really, in the city, we don't have a really great venue for it. And I think that there's a lot of people that would really like it. So back to project, look it up. I believe it's been live for a couple of days and it's making some money. So hopefully
is
we'll
that
get it.
right now?
4,500.
That's not bad, actually, because it's only been live for like a day, 2 days and stuff. Considering it's just something.
And there's obviously different tiers, you know, everything from $1 to hold on a second, let me scroll through here to $5,000. And there's a lot of stuff that you can get with that $5,000. Like you'll literally you can rule the tavern for a day.
You become a worker. You get hired and your salary.
Man, there have been times in my life that I'd pay $5,000 to get hired to then get money. Like,
Oh yeah. But if you want to set that little plug up,
Funny.
and eventually, you know, if it's a thing, maybe they will. And you've met Johnny on a separate podcast. He's talked about Gen Con, coming back from there, and he's going to be one of the co-owners. But at the very least, you know, look into it. They might become an official sponsor of the podcast, as we don't have a sponsor at the moment. So, it'd be cool. That's all I got for today.
Well, thanks for the closing up. Everybody we go down the line and give like one of our favorite moments from a con.
Okay.
Like most memorable moments or something.
Most memorable moment from a con. All right, who's starting?
Let me go first.
Sure, because
Honestly, my most memorable moments from a con, and this is going to sound kind of cheesy, and it's kind of vague too. Like I said, I used to love anime back in the day. I really don't follow it as hardcore as I probably should, and I'm trying. Like right now, the anime I'm watching, I think let's also say what anime we're watching is Parasite. I'm really digging Parasite. But it's literally just, since it's grown and we've grown, you know, our group that goes, just seeing my friends, you know, out of state and hanging out, and those are some really good times. That's what I enjoy the most about going to cons, even if you're not into anime as much as, say, you know, like Willy, you know. So that's my favorite thing. What are you watching, and what favorite moment?
just finished Assassination Classroom. Right now I'm watching Baki the Grappler, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Gangsta. You gotta say it like that. Gangsta. I remember, like, I said it to Zach, and he's like, do you have to say it like that? I'm like, yeah.
it's in all caps,
Yeah.
and that's how it's spelled.
And it has an A at
Gangsta.
the end. Gangsta. And for those of you who've seen, like, to me it has a feel like Black Lagoon and like that Yangamond or whatever, like Yergermon, the arms dealer.
Yeah.
So it has like a feel like that, like mercenary type anime thing, but I'm watching the English dub, so I'm not caught up with it. So that's what I'm watching, and I guess let's see, the most memorable thing would probably be at A-Kon 2014, because that's like the first one I ever went to. Funimation had a Date Alive dating game thing, like panel, and it had the voice actresses up on the stage, and they would ask questions, and the audience, like the people that they chose to play, would have to guess like A through B or A through D, which would be the most likely answer that actual voice actress gave and stuff. And so at the very end, Justin ran out of questions because we had a tie, and so he asked for the audience to come up with a question, and he called on me, and like I'm weird and stuff. So my question was like, what was it? It was like, because it was like you get home, you take her back to her house or her apartment or whatever, and she realizes she locks her keys in the she left her keys in the apartment and she locked out. Do you A, tell her, oh, take my copy, like this is your first date? Do you A, tell her, take my copy? Or like B, like say that's okay, come home with me. Like C, call, oh, she left her keys in the cab or whatever, call the cab company. Or like D or whatever, have her come, like, yeah, so, like, whenever I said that one about, here, take my copy, the whole room erupted in laughter and stuff because, like, the creepiness level of that, because, like I think Justin himself looked and was like it's strange, like, I could see in his head, he was like, that is fucked up, but he couldn't say that because he was representing the company, but his eyes said, that was fucked up, and all the voice actors too were like, it was just like, yeah, I said it. But yeah, that would have to be one of the most memorable because like the whole room broke out in laughter, and it was really funny and creepy as well. So,
how do I even follow that? Okay, so I am. Depending on who you ask, I'm either watching everything or nothing this season. I'm enjoying Gangsta, but I've only seen Gangsta. But I've only seen the first episode or so. I was watching Bikini Warriors, which I actually enjoy a great deal, even though it's gross.
Yes.
But no, if I have to give like an anime shout out at all, it's actually for anime no one in this room has ever heard of, probably other than Philip. But it's called Dansai Bunri no Crime Edge. It is.
Shows the shit.
It is like for the first 2 or 3 episodes of it, we would finish the episode and we'd be like, "What the fuck did we just watch? Put in the next one." Like it's an anime where just if you look up just Crime Edge, it should pop up. Yeah, the Severing Crime Edge, I guess, is the English title.
Is this the one? I'll let you finish. But I think I know what you're talking about.
But it's this like this girl's hair can't be cut, and this guy like finds these murder scissors that let him cut her hair, and it is.
It's the fucking best.
It's
so good.
It's so weird, but it's also so like strangely heartfelt.
There's like some real moments.
Yeah, they go for it. It's like they have this totally bizarre premise, and the premise does not get any less bizarre as the series continues, and you find out more about the killing goods and what's going on with the Queen of Hair and all of this stuff. It's completely bizarre, but it sells it to you because it's internally consistent. It believes in this crazy thing that it's telling you, and this story that it's telling you, and all of the characters are like weirdly real people. Like that's one of the things that in some anime gets me, is that especially like the male protagonist and the female protagonist in a series are almost never real people. Like they're weird. Something strange about them. That's why they're the protagonist. But they don't seem real in a lot of these things. But both of these two people are real and like weird and deserve each other in a good way and all of this. And it's just cute and weird, and there's no way to elevator pitch it, but it's like one of my favorite anime that no one's ever heard of. Probably one of my favorite anime con moments. I've been going to cons since 2000. And most of the year, there's a few years in there I didn't get to go to cons, but most of the years in there I've gone to like multiple cons. So we're talking about a large span of memory. So like I can't pick a favorite memory. I've told some of my stories, but my most recent cool memory was actually at Haven Con, which if you're in the Austin area, you should totally go to Haven Con. It's an LGBT nerd con. It's kind of a little bit of everything. And this year will be their second year. They're actually making it a full weekend con this year, which is cool. And I don't know whether I'm going to have enough money to do it this year, but I bought into the VIP package last year, which was money well spent. They did a really good job with the VIP program. And there's a surprisingly large, I was surprised by it, furry contingency, and kind of cross-pollination between some of the people at HavenCon and some of the people that lead Furry Fiesta here in Dallas. And I was like kind of, okay, this is kind of a weird, like, I don't know how, like, I've known some people who were into the furry thing. It's never really been my thing, but kind of like some of that. But they did a really good panel about furries, and a bunch of furries led the panel, and they did it was actually like really informative, and like all of the audience members were pretty super respectful. A few of them were drunk because it was a late night panel, so you got a little of the kind of drunk panel thing going on, but like most everybody was pretty respectful. Everybody learned a lot. It was really cool. And we immediately went to the dance after that, where we like sort of all left that to go to the dance, where our DJ was a griffin. And I'm just kind of like, okay, well, I can die now. Like, I've been to a dance at a convention where there's been a DJ Griffin. Like, a Griffin has played music for me. And it was cool. Like, it sounds maybe a little weird, but it was just like, this is really cool. Like, mythical creatures are playing music for my enjoyment.
Like, in my head, I'm thinking also like Griffith from Berserk.
That would be good too. I would go to that.
Demons came out. And
I would honestly probably
rather
go
crazy
down
at that point.
But yeah, it was like, so since there was a bunch of like cross-pollination, it was a bunch of like, it was like furry rave, and it was fantastic. So it's like, and like I said, that sounds a little weird, but it was super awesome. And now I've had a Griffin DJ me.
Nice.
Let's see. So, I think the most recent anime that I watched was Noragami, which is really good. Highest possible recommendation. The series is good. The manga's good. It's getting another season soon. So, catch the fever or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know.
Taste a rainbow and go fuck yourself. Like
I want that on a shirt.
Catch the rainbow. Okay, yeah, catch the rainbow and go fuck yourself. That's actually the anime that I've been watching.
Oh my gosh, okay, I'm sorry. Very quick, like super quick story.
Okay.
We
I'm just gonna do the story. That's what part you're coming up on.
Wait,
are you gonna tell the shirt story? Where we were looking at shirts online and we found the best shirt?
Well, no, it was gonna be my convention story.
Okay. Well, I was gonna tell the shirt story.
All right. Well, we'll get to that. I have to do what my favorite convention moment story was. And both of these, the like tied for first convention story happened to the same one. One of the few times that I like really like went and did the big special guest thing was we went to one of the Aggie cons and met Neil Gaiman and got my backpack signed by him, which is cool. I still have that to this day. And at that same convention, my friend and I were standing around down in there was like this basement area that had like a DDR machine, and we were just kind of like standing at a table, just kind of like spacing out, talking about all the weird shit that we'd seen that day, and the elevator dinged, and we looked over, and a guy in like a box robot costume got out of it, but this like particular special box robot costume had a enormous robot penis at the front of it that he had like made out of like a fun noodle and wrapped in tinfoil like the rest of it. So it was very clearly, oh, it's that robot's dong. Okay, I get it. And so the elevator door opens and we just see this massive thing flop out of it. And then the guy comes out following it. Okay, and we were like, all right. And then, so of course, the only thing that you can do at that point is he walks over and starts playing DDR, and is like dancing and at the same time wailing on the machine with his robot dick. And my friend David and I basically just like sat there and watched this in silence. And then he just he finished and then he just walked off. And we were still just like looked at each other and was like, did that just happen? And yeah, I don't think any con moment's ever gonna be more special than that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. You win. You win the con story. Yeah. Flop. Pretty much exactly. Exactly.
High score.
Was it good?
You're
no,
an excellent
but
dancer.
it didn't matter.
Everybody's waiting for you.
He was in a box.
I have a third leg.
Yeah,
You got
I bet
third
he
leg
probably
score.
couldn't tell what was
I think
happening.
it would have been funnier if he was actually
Didn't
trying to
matter.
manipulate it to actually hit the thing. So it was like,
I'd have been impressed, but not that I wasn't impressed anyways. But
yeah, that's
so
funny.
yeah, that was the whole thing.
Oh, I'm so glad I asked the question of your favorite con moments. That was awesome.
I've forgotten. As soon as you started that story, everyone here could see me just like lose
Start to
it.
lose it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way to top. There's
Well,
no way
yeah,
to top that.
I'm glad you went last.
Me too.
Oh my god, yes. That's perfect. Oh man, now I just kind of want to next time I just want to be in an elevator and just have like a fake dong or something when the door's open or closed, just like, oh my god, and just stick it through the door. Well, never mind, you'll get in trouble for that. You know what? Like, that's what I have to have someone wrangle me in to just keep my random ideas to keep me from acting upon all of them. Sometimes I regulate myself, but there's occasionally where I'm like, I can probably do that without any trouble. That was not one of them. Eating the dumpling off the floor, that one could have been passable, but I didn't do it though. Okay, so anyone have anything to add before we close it up here?
I had a story, but I'm not going to follow that.
Blown out of the water.
And
Close it down.
And I know that once this is over, our neighbors next door threatened, told me not to open that adjoining door here in the
Or
hotel.
things were going to get crazy.
Yeah, things are gonna get weird and crazy, and I told them they can't out-weird me, and they're like, just open the door and see. So once this is over, I'm opening that door.
Time to do it.
I am.
So
I'm
if this
sorry.
is the last time you hear from him.
Yeah.
Didn't mention open. So, yeah. Alright, so this has been another episode of the Nerdgasm Channel Podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast on iTunes if you're listening. Hit the one up on YouTube. Hit the like button. Share with your friends. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all of our different social media outlets. The links will be in the video or audio description below.
Join our Facebook community where
Yeah.
we have lots of people that we're a community. That means you're one of us. One of us. One of us. And we care about you all.
Yes. Also, give us topics if you have any ideas on stuff you want us to actually talk about. Drop us a comment.
Whatever.
Games and stuff, animes to watch, review, whatever. And I'm going to try to start getting more into the reviews of animes again. Just send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Reach out to us. You have a product that you want us to review or pimp out for you. Let us know because we definitely help. I like to help the nerd community and stuff. By supporting them, whatever is available if we can. Alright, so this has been Willie, aka Unofficial Ninja.
Zach, Romeo 313.
Everybody else sounds so professional. I'm CJ or Oddly Pretty.
I'm Philip.
Just
AKA
Philip.
AKA Philip.
Philip, motherfucker. AKA Taste the Rainbow, motherfucker.
His Indian name would be Stares at Robocop. And that's been another episode of the Nerdgasm Channel Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Until next time. See you later.
Deuces.
She said stare at Robocop.
You snorted.